Burning a hole in my house, burning a hole in my house, burning a hole in the house, burning a hole, burning a hole. Fucking sit in this goddamn position. Yeah. A burning a hole in my house, a burning a hole in my house, burning a hole in my house, burning a hole. No. Rock come. Stronger than the rest of them. Less sober than leather. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Are we balanced? Are we centered? Okay, good. Right. Yeah. Do. I don't know what 6 minutes will be left. We'll find out.
That's what I'm representing. Never seen a mic hog spit like a menace. Wild canyon fun, I gotta chase a bat, huh? Yeah, rude, she's sexy and smooth. A double cross by thief, that's out for my Jews, I'm feeling her in mysterious ways. That's why I stay on point like every single day. I gotta protect this place, I do it for my race, I'ma get place, I do it for my race. Yeah, you know how it Throw your hands up. Come on. Ain't nobody gonna come here and eat my plate, no. Yo, what happened? My emerald's gone. Somebody gon' get this quick, my word is born. Who coulda did this? That snitch named Rouge. When I catch her, I'ma get her with these tools. There you are. Come here, little thief. Think you can fly and get away quick? Give up the emerald or die. I don't love you. Yeah, you know how it is. Throw your hands up. Come on.
tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle.
independence is my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. Born on an island in the heavens, the blood of my ancestors flows inside me. My duty is to save the flower from evil deterioration. Yeah, I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. Streaking lights, loud sounds, and instincts are the elements that keep me going. I am fighting my own mission. Nothing's gonna stand in my way, no, no. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. Won't be fighting, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. Get this power to wipe out the havoc and anarchy. This is my planet, gonna fight for my destiny. Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles, unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles, I'm hard as nails, it ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independence is my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. I have no such things as weak spots. Don't approve of him, but gotta trust him. This alliance has a purpose. This partnership is only temporary. Yeah. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself of evil spirits that got in you. We fight you now, stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. We all be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. Won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. I get this power to wipe out the havoc and anarchy. This is my plan, it's gonna fight. I won't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. We all be waiting when serenity is restored. This is my planet, I shall not surrender. Shall not surrender, no. Yeah. The new porcupine on the block with the buff chest. Out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. The blow thrower, independent flower, magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes through boulders. That's why I stay alone. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse, I get it on by myself. Adversaries get shelved.
Ugh. Okay, my hands have finally thawed after working over a hot oil fire. My fingers started out this morning being nearly frostbitten. And I am starving more than Marvin. We have actual water to go along with the alcohol. Hello, chat. How are we doing? Yes, we know. The smell of chicken meat permeates this home. Jackets. Where's my jackets? Jacket. Here. Ugh. I am a fatty whore, I am a Negro. I eat the food and sit on my ass then. They play video games. Don't spell that on my computer. Yes, I do entertain. Find myself centered. Drunk in a blizzard. Shoop. Shoop. Okay. Light, Carl. Fuck! Damn it! I swear, even though I turn the fucking light on, it's still going to keep focusing in. Focus, nigga! Focus, nigga! I swear to God. If you don't focus. I'm focusing. Can we focus? Okay. Quiet mind. Hope you all feeling good. I'm alive. I feel good. Hello, Casey. Bonjour to all of you. Between these things, yeah. Everything should be up to date. Alright, chat. Today's news stories are very simple, very straightforward. Let's just go ahead and dive into the most common one, the most recent one, which is also the most retarded one. Oh boy. Back itch. The most stupid news story of all the things we have to concern ourselves with has been Twitch. Between the VTuber nonsense happening before, and now this continuing to compile, and now we've gotten to the point that we've had multiple instances of what is just clearly hypocritical double standards being applied to people on the platform. The easiest way to demonstrate this, obviously, being what I put inside of my own thing, which, if I can find my first starter here. Is it in gaming? Is it in body politic? Yes, it's in body politic. The easiest way to demonstrate this is just simply the news story that has come out with Zachary, Asmondgold, being banned on Twitch on his secondary account, JustARobot, for 14 days, but his main account remaining unrestricted and allowed to stay up. As we can see from the tweet here, oh, wrong one. Here, reasonable position that nobody wants to say out loud, namely his opinion that he had about the you-know-who of peace. That's a 14-day ban for him. Opinions that are not even close to unrealistic, but go against the leftist standard of, platforming actual IRL terrorists, like Hassan Piker. 14-day ban. Being a cartoon woman, which relates directly to the Twitch situation. How bad is that Twitch situation? Well, you see, fictional women are being castigated. They're being castigated for the crime of having exposed hips because of supposed sexuality. So, to keep them safe from the TOS, they have to use chastity belts. Not even joking. Not even joking. Chastity belts. Exposed hips? No worry. Use a VTuber chastity belt as a free asset developed by one of the many people being stricken for it. It comes in 4 parts, so that you can be able to stay safe from the hypocritical Twitch TOS standard. But you see, it's not just as bad as you're getting hit for having exposed bodies. There are Twitch streamers, one of which is in the news story, being banned for having sex on camera and replying to chat as it's happening. Do you think she was permanently banned? No, she was not permanently banned. She was banned for 3 days. 3 days. So, fictional women, because it's not happening to the guys. Because the leftist standard on Twitch is that guys can be sexualized, but women can't be sexualized. Especially if they look like they're demure children. So if it looks like a lolly, and females would be jealous of you, IRL, you're banned. You can platform terrorists. You can be a woman doing some of the worst. And I do mean some of the worst. Do I even have some here? If I do, they're probably not censored properly. No. But I don't even have to pull up camera examples. We've all seen examples of what it looks like. You can platform terrorists, but you can't have reasonable positions about the you-know-who of peace. You can't be a cartoon woman. And you can't be reasonable about the expectations of the standards. You also can't be Destiny. Granted, this was before what he chose to do with the conservative shit. Free speech does not exist on Twitch. To the highest regard, it does not exist on Twitch. I would argue that it can't exist on Twitch. Because the second that you have equal standards for everybody, you will see all of it go up in flames. Because realistically, the leftist paradigm on Twitch is the only thing keeping it up and alive. Because all the popular content creators also happen to be some of the biggest creators on LSF. Which is honestly annoying. Because all of the networking that you'd end up doing affects all of your blend and your keep over. Going to TwitchCon, is just out of the cards for you if you're not able to make it in those circles. Because what's the point of you going to an event like this? It's ridiculous. It's ultimately fucking ridiculous. Because when you really think about it, alongside the newest update of Twitch TOS rules, which makes it wrong for you to suggest that the reason why somebody is popular is because they have favoritism with Twitch, there is little to no reason for a person to ever use that platform unless they are already there and have been grandfathered into the system. Use YouTube. Use Kick. YouTube, Kick, I guess, DLive, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Twitter, but don't use Twitch if you can fucking help it. It's fucking ridiculous that it's gotten this bad. Because I remember Sugar VIO, explaining how different Hassan, a Twitch moderator by the name of Hassan, was directly responsible for advancing them through the partner program and then fast forwarding them on the track to get their Christmas 2,000k bonus. And only after investigation and exposure from all the other girls who had this done for them, where basically they got the benefit and now they could wipe the slate clean. The term that I used the other day, door stopping. They could gatekeep and door stop not just people getting in to these positions of power, but also the employees. And all of this is a hierarchy problem with the platform. Discoverability is past the problem. Because realistically, pound for pound, VTubers are always more popular than Twitch, as they call them now, flesh tubers. VTubers, flesh tubers. I would be considered a flesh tuber. The only thing that makes sense is that it has to be an explicit fuck up. Either they are fucked up, hello Callum, either they are fucked up and it's horrible mistakes, or they are evil and it's being done on purpose. Those are the only explanations. I, for one, am not shocked. Not at all. Not even close to being shocked. But it just is what it is, you know? It just is what it is. It just is what it is. And that actually blends into the next story perfectly. Because while the VTuber situation is a interesting example of, well, we already know, the Twitch example of what he said deserves more than enough scrutiny on its own. Now, let's hope I can find an example that happens to be nicely censored, because he's already made a response video to this. Let's get the clip on hand. If I can find it. Where is it? Sorry, Rouge Music. We need to have context here. It's on the screen.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had no intentions on making a video about this because topics like this tend to be extremely controversial, which just leads to people arguing in the comments. People start getting at me, DMing me because maybe they feel opposite of how I feel about something. And so I tend to stay away from certain topics because I just don't think that it's something that I want on my channel. And I know there's a lot of other people that already talk about it, and I'm going to let them do their thing. But Asmondgold was wilding on stream the other day. What he said, from a standpoint of someone that doesn't know a lot about the situation going on over there, it still sounded crazy to me.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question.
Is he wrong? Base, is he wrong? Because, of course, this is off the back of the Hassan debate that he had. Is he wrong? Because this is what he's getting banned for. Continuing forward.
It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is.
Is he wrong?
It's that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
So again, I just want to say that I don't know about a lot of the stuff that's going on over there. So I can't speak on anything specifically, but I feel like as people living on Earth, we should all be team people. We should all be pushing for the most peaceful resolution possible. We should all want everybody to get along.
He thinks he can get along with militants. Granted, I know exactly why he's saying this statement. We all know exactly why this content creator is making the statement. This is Joying TV, by the way. Asmondgold banned on Twitch for Gaza comments. Direct video. This is the boilerplate response that keeps your channel safe. We all know that. It's the boilerplate response that keeps your channel safe. It's vile in the sense of this is what happens, but it's one of the reasons I stopped working in politics. Because there's no way that you can have a statement on the Israel, Palestine, and Hamas conflict without having to say things like that. Because it's true, but it's horrible. And I don't want to say shit like this, and I don't. Because, of course, we're talking the difference between people who are militants, those who have voted for militants, and those that do want us to be hurt and harmed. And the sheer veracity he had saying it is how I know that there is a two-caste system in Twitch. We've already known there's been a two-caste system for years. But the speed at which he said it, the explicit outcome in which he said it, this is one of those moments that you don't ever think would happen on Twitch because, they know better. Flabbergasting. Because I can say that about Hamas. I can't say that about Palestine. Because it's obviously not Palestine. I know too much about the fucking conflict to ever say that. Because how can I do research about the fucking three-fifths complements of the British imperialist state that divided the country between Israel, Palestine, and those that then became what is now known as Hamas, and the 3v1, 2v1, 4v1, back-to-back, ass whooping that Israel gave to every single country in the region, after every other region in the country had then stoked up flames that those in the area that is now considered to be Palestine were riled into. Because he could have said that statement that way. He could have said the statement that has been explained by the older millennial, which if I can find that particular clip, I will do so, because it's necessary to understand the context of why he's being banned for it. Where is it?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on with the voter rolls in Texas? Like, I'm sure there's a...
That's not it. It'd take me a while to go back through all of my things to go find it, but I need to find this one.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Elder millennial.
So I was tagged and specifically asked to make a video. Let's have a little history lesson to the British. And
There we go.
Had a mix.
Here we go. Here is the video in question that I was talking about.
Says Palestine in 1947 and now. Map tells everything. No, it actually doesn't. And look, I get it. You just take a look at this map, you would be like, oh my God, the Israelis have just been taking all the Palestinian land. And yeah, if you're a total fucking idiot who's just ignorant of all history, I can see why you would think that. So let's have a little history lesson so y'all can actually understand what you're looking at here. Because losing land like this doesn't just happen in a vacuum. No, there's a specific reason for each and every one of these fucking changes. And surprise, surprise, every fucking time is the Palestinians' fault. And look, just a warning here. We're about to do some learning. I'm about to give you some facts. So liberals, since I know you're not very big on those, you may want to leave before you actually fucking learn something. All right, let's take a look at the first map you see, which is labeled as 1947. The first lie it shows you on this map is it calls it Palestine. It wasn't called that. There has never been a nation in this area known as Palestine. This was simply the area owned by the British that was given to the Arab people. And these little white areas over here, yeah, those are tiny Jewish settlements. Back in 1936, all of this was owned by the British. And it had a mixture of mostly Arab with a tiny bit of Jewish. And in 1936, the Arabs revolted against the British and tried to murder all these Jews. So in response, the British formed what is known as the Peel Commission. The Peel Commission decided that the only way to have peace was to give each people their nation. So an Arab state and a Jewish state. And the funny thing is, the way they divided it up...
For those that have no idea, this is what people talk about when they say the one state, two state solution. For the historic three no's that are held by the PLO and by Hamas as a part of their jihad charter against Western influence in the Middle Eastern region. If I'm remembering correctly, no peace with Israel, no deals with Israel, and no remaining Israel state.
Up is a map that's left off this for some reason. So this was how they chose to divide up the land. The Arabs got all the orange here, and the Jews got this little bit of blue. Like at this point in history, the Peel Commission had determined that the Arabs got more than 80% of the land. That's pretty fucking fair. But the Arabs didn't think so. Because while the Jews completely accepted this division, the Arabs revolted yet again and went back to trying to kill every Jew. And we continued on like that for about another 10 years. In 1947, the British brought in the United Nations. And surprise, surprise, the UN decided that the only way to end the violence was a two-state solution. So in November of 1947, this is how the UN divided up the land. The Arabs had got to keep all the land that they had said was important to them, and the Israelis got mostly useless, undeveloped desert. I know it looks like the Israelis got more land here, but at this time in history, most of this was just undeveloped sand. The Arabs basically kept every fucking city, every developed piece of farmland, every agricultural point and water source, and nearly every holy site. It's a pretty good fucking deal, right? Now, just like back in 1936, the Jews accepted the proposal and the Arabs decided to wage war. But this time, it wasn't just the Arabs in the local area launching the attack. No, instead, it was all these Arabs, plus Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Syria. All of the Arab nations surrounding this tiny little Jewish settlement waged war on them. But insanely enough, with all those nations against it, Israel won. And here's the best part. Even though they had defeated all of these nations bent on their annihilation, they didn't take a single inch of land from them. No, they just carried on trying to build a nation in the land they were given. Now, what they did do was occupy some land of the people in their country who had just tried to murder them. That's how we get to the third map. Now, at this point, this area of land here was actually controlled by Jordan, which you can't tell, but is actually this country here that's in the gray. Now, in 1967, the Arabs decided to try the Israelis again. This time, it was Egypt, Jordan, and Syria versus Israel. Their stated goal at that time was the complete and total annihilation of the Jewish state. They vowed to drive them into the sea. This conflict would come to be known as the Six-Day War.
And, for those who remember, this is where the chant comes from. From the river to the sea. Moving on.
And wouldn't you know it, the Israelis beat that ass. Now, at this point, the Israeli government was actually completely divided on what they wanted to do with the land they acquired. Half the government wanted to return the West Bank to Jordan and Gaza to Egypt in exchange for peace. And the other half wanted to give it to the Arabs who had originally been in the region and were now calling themselves Palestinians, with the ultimate goal to have them build their own country and have peace. I want you to think about that for a second. The Israelis had just defended themselves for the second time against multiple countries bent on their annihilation. And none of their thoughts were about keeping the land for themselves. They were simply trying to decide who they could give it to that would bring the most peace. And you know what? The Arab League didn't even wait for them to make that decision. Because in 1967, the Arab League issued their famous 3 no's. Those were no peace with Israel, no recognition of Israel, and lastly, no negotiations with Israel.
I'm wrong.
So the Israelis had every right to keep everything because they had defeated them in war. And they never even considered it. He then spent about the next 30 years where the Arabs suicide bombed the Jews, trying to kill as many of them as humanly possible. Throughout that time, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, they just said no to everything Israel offered. But then in 2008, the Israelis offered even more. Israel offered all of Gaza, 98% of the West Bank, and even included additional farmland that Israel had already set up. The current leader at that time, Mahmoud Abbas, he said no. Now, even without any agreement on the table, in 2005, the Israelis left Gaza and gave it to the Palestinians. And instead of developing this little chunk of land that could have been an amazing port, no, they just turned it into a terrorist base camp. The following year, they elected Hamas to be their ruling party. They spent every single bit of their nearly $2 billion a year in international aid on weapons. And since that time, this little strip of land has launched more than 4,700 rockets into Israel, killing thousands. So what the fuck did you expect Israel to do? Just keep dying by rockets from land they gave away? Just keep accepting that the people who lived next to them were trying to murder them? Israel has tried repeatedly to give up massive amounts of land for peace. The Arabs don't want peace. Hamas and the Palestinians don't want peace. They want the annihilation of the Jewish people. And it completely blows my mind that the people who have no problem calling everyone a fucking Nazi over the last 10 years are now protesting in favor of the people who want to unalive every Jew on earth. And here's the thing, I'm still holding out hope. I hope that the people participating in these protests are just ignorant of the actual history, that they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because the alternative is really fucking scary. It would mean that people recognize all the steps that the Israelis have taken for peace, all the things the Jews have done just so they can live without the fear of being murdered. That they have seen how absolutely unreasonable the Palestinians and the Arab nations can be. That they see the only reason these Arab people have rejected this is because they hate the Jews and they want to drive them into the sea and murder every one of them. Yet they still support them. And that's really scary, to think that these people are really that evil. I sincerely hope that this video reaches some of you people who support Palestine. And I really hope it reaches those of you who are supporting it just because you didn't know. And I also really hope that you'll do your own research, that you won't just take my word for it and you'll look it up yourself. Because I know what I'm saying is true. And I know that Israel is not the problem here. And if you do your own research, you will too.
With this added context, when you go back to Asmond's opinion and all of the developed knowledge around it in its totality, this, as Callum just pointed out in the chat over here, is exactly the problem with the modern conflict. Now, of course, we know that leftists don't give a shit about this. And we also know that everyone's favorite Houthi pirate supporter, who thinks that Houthis are fucking Luffy, even giving charitability, wild thing for him to say. Literally wild thing for him to ever say. And yet, back to this.
And to come out and be like, well, I don't really care what happens to them because, you know what? If they had the means to do it, they'd be doing the same thing. So who cares if they're dying? That just sounds crazy to me. Now, before I made this video, I was trying to pull up a tweet from Asmond in the past, and if I do find it, you guys will see it pop up on screen. But he definitely said like a year or two ago that nobody should be talking about this stuff if they're not educated in it. We're just streamers. We're just people on the internet. Why are people giving their own personal opinions on topics that they're not super familiar with? And yet here he is giving his opinion on a topic that he's clearly not super familiar with. And
I know. There's no world where Asmondgold could ever say that he is unfamiliar with the concept. In fact, I feel half the reason he said what he said was that he's extremely confident of his position in it. But the problem is that his position is arrived at the position that comes with seeing all the leftists on the platform basically use the watermelon tags as a justification to be extremely unhinged. This is on the back of Hassan and the Leftists podcast, Leftovers podcast. This is on the back of Hassan and Frogan and the Arabs podcast that she's a part of, and all of her nasty comments, and all the people making those comments specifically towards Stardust, and then using that hatred to attack Stardust and her boyfriend, and trying to criticize her for being somehow a Destiny Dick Rider. This comes on the back of the regular watermelon posters. When I say watermelon, I mean Palestine flag users. They put support for Palestine in their bios, but they have the most outwardly hateful rhetoric and viewpoints about other people in the world. This comes on the back of watermelon enjoyers, actively trying to push for sensationalist views, opinions, threads, topics, and open antagonization of what they claim are Zionists, even if it's just a Jew culturally or familiarly. So, a religious Jew, a cultural Jew, and a biological Jew. Someone who's biologically Jewish, someone who is culturally Jewish, and is a part of the Jewish community. And those that are religiously Jewish, that are either one of the original two, if not both, if not all three, or has converted to Judaism. The amount of knowledge that it comes with means that in a fair world, not only should Zachary have been banned, Hassan should have been banned all the way back to his bullshit of admitting to be a propagandist, should have been deplatformed, should have been demonetized, should have been fucking kicked off every platform, knowingly and knowledgeably for the level of shit that he's gotten away with over the years. No ability to go to YouTube, no ability to go to Kick, no ability to use TikTok. It should have just been outright kaput. If you want to ban Zach, ban him for a month. I think a month is good enough. Realistically, because if you only ban him for 14 days, you're doing so that he can try to retain some of the money that comes from the subscribers. Because if you only ban a streamer for 3 to 14 days, the only way to make them have to lose their subs and also make them lose their momentum is to restrict them for any amount of time within 7 to 28, because all of those resubs are how people know that the person is live on the platform. Realistically, if you're following and you're subscribed to a streamer on Twitch, that is the only form of discoverability that exists. Because otherwise, you're only going to watch the people who are popular. So, remove him from the ecosystem. All the people that would have gone to him as a waiting room to go see the topics of the day would have gone to somebody else. Give him a month ban, permanently ban Hassan. Blacklist him from doing anything possible. Do the same thing to Frogan, do the same thing to any of the rest of his moderators, do the same thing to any fucking bread tuber who tries it, cornbread tuber who tries it, crumb tuber who tries it, etc. And just keep going down the rungs until you clean out the entirety of the Twitch, Interpol, political chuds. Just keep doing it until they're all cleaned out. Because every single one of them are guilty of the exact same fucking crime. Period. Period. They're all guilty of the crime. They've been doing it for years. The shit that he said there, wild as it is not even 25% of the shit that they've not only supported, but they've given money towards, and they've tried to celebrate. And that's just thinking Hassan. We don't even want to get into the shit that fucking Losh has done. We don't even want to get into anyone else. Because the list would be endless. We'd be here for 5 hours. Minimum. Let's continue the video.
And regardless of all of that, you can't sit and group a whole bunch of people together because everybody is different. Like, we might all live in America. A bunch of you guys that are watching this, there might be people from other countries as well. But for those of us in America, we're not all exactly the same. I'm going to have some differences from you, from the next person, from the next. So everyone's beliefs are going to be slightly different. And not everyone is going to believe in the same thing. So even if there are some people that have some horrible beliefs as well, it doesn't mean that it's everybody. You can't just group it and be like, well, who cares? This is in their law. They all back it. They all, look, you can look at America and very quickly see that there are a lot of laws that we don't all agree on. There are a lot of things that we do as a country that we don't all agree on. I mean, that's why we have protests, why people are constantly fighting. We have this back and forth political war going on. Like, it's nonstop shit. So this should tell you that this also takes place other places where people aren't all on the same page. So it's just the whole statement just seems really crazy to me. And then he went and he got on Hassan's podcast, and Hassan, who I'm not the biggest fan of either, actually made some really good points.
If the people are voting for the people that want to oppress people based off of their identity, I think that to a certain extent, that does infer a degree of like what people think.
I have two problems here. I just told you that 50% of the population of Palestine and Gaza Strip is under the age of 18. None of them voted for Hamas, okay? Because they weren't alive. That's number one. Number two, you said you voted for Donald Trump in the past, in 2016.
I did.
Okay, why did you vote for Donald Trump?
I just didn't really like Hillary Clinton.
There you go. Turns out people have many different motivations for voting for one particular party over the other, and it doesn't have to be Islamist fundamentalism that they believe in. So
The wild part about this is that this is probably the reason why he has the opinion that he does. Because when you learn about Wahhabism, it becomes very clear that inside of Islam, it is not about men having power in the patriarchy. It's about men and women being subjugated by the clerics. Men and women don't have rights under this religious system. Fundamentalist or not. When he says something stupid like, the youth here didn't vote for it, they wouldn't be given the ability to vote regardless. They would be sent to die. That's dumb, Hassan. But of course, this is about what would get you banned. And in this situation, this is the one time that Hassan is right about anything. Because there's multiple reasons for people to vote. But of course, if he followed that train of logic all the way to its political extremes and its end, he would realize that to attack him for that, it needs to be more about, well, here's the opinion. These people didn't get to vote for this, and while they probably would have their opinion for voting taken away from them, your willingness to do what we would consider the worst thing possible, which is support of Donald Trump, is because you support him because you don't like Hillary. ... And therefore. It's like, it's 2 rights and 4 wrongs, but the 2 rights are very right.
that's my point, because they're human beings with a shit ton of different attitudes and different opinions. If they see the dominating party of Fatah as a party that is completely captured by Israeli security apparatus that is working at the behest of this state that is destroying their lives, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go with the other guy, just like you went with Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. So, but it doesn't even matter because most of those people that voted for Hamas are dead.
So everything he said kind of alludes to some of the stuff I was saying. Like, everybody isn't in the same basket. Like, he was saying now some people were so young that they couldn't vote for what's in place now. They just happen to live there. Not everybody has the ability to be like, well, I don't agree with this, so I'm just going to up and move myself to some other country.
The problem with this is that we're not even talking about the young people. These are the adults that created that world for the young people, which is more insidious because now you're hiding behind the idea of, well, the kids didn't vote for this. The adults did. That doesn't make it okay. Therefore, what are we talking about?
That's not always possible. I've not voted ever in American politics, and I'm sure I'll probably catch some shit for just saying that. But the truth is, I haven't voted. I really haven't. I haven't really cared that much, but that doesn't mean that I'm suddenly on the side of whoever wins and whatever they decide to do, right? Like, you can't just group me in with everybody else. Or there's going to be people that vote for the other side, but the other side doesn't win. And so a certain side gets into place, they make certain changes. You can't be like, well, all Americans deal with this, and they all agree with it because it's part of their law, so who cares what... That thought process is just, it's so ridiculous. And what's crazy is, like, I don't watch Asmond, but I've seen clips of him before, and I agree with some of the shit that he says. Like, he made a lot of people mad when he said that protesters should just get out of his way. Why are you blocking me? I have to go somewhere. And I actually agree with that, as much as it made people mad when I said that. But I personally feel like, yes, we have some things that need to change, and I get that protesting has worked in the past and there are benefits to it, but at the same time, to just block a whole bunch of people who might also be on your side, or people that have emergencies they need to get to, it just doesn't feel right to me. But again, that's just my opinion, and I agreed with him on that, even though it wasn't the popular opinion. But this is crazy, bro. And it's gotten back to him already, because as far as I know, he is now banned on Twitch. I don't really know their TOS in and out as far as like what would be a permanent ban, what's going to get you a day, a 3-day, a 30-day, but I assume he's going to be
Nobody knows.
gone for maybe 30 days after a statement like that. And he did try to apologize. So yesterday, Asmond tweeted, looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. Which isn't exactly the greatest apology. I mean, I guess it's good that he acknowledged that he said some shit that he probably shouldn't have said. And overall, I don't think that he's a horrible, horrible person. I'm sure some people do, and I'm sure Twitter feels that way right now because they've been going crazy over this. But I think that he just has some really odd views and some things that maybe he needs to work out and get a better understanding of stuff. And that is exactly why I don't speak on these kind of topics, because I don't know enough. And I will educate myself little by little. I don't think that I'll ever make content around it because, again, it's controversial. And as much as I feel like there is a need to speak about topics like this, there's enough channels that already do it. I wish that the world could find peace. I wish that we could find a better way to get through all of this stuff. I feel like we all need to go listen to the song We Are the World. In all reality, but I mean, I am at the same time. It's just, the shit has just gotten so crazy in this world, and I wish that we had a solution for it, and I don't know that it's ever going to get better. So that was just something that I saw on Twitter I wanted to talk about. I'm sure this is going to end up with a lot of random comments down below, people agreeing with me, people that are going to just hate on me for not knowing a lot about the situation over there, people are going to hate on me for something I said. This is what happens when you talk about topics like this, but I felt like this one needed to be addressed. So let me know what you guys think down below. I appreciate you. I'll catch you in the next video, homies. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had...
And then, Asmond's response to all of this.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into two parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, the second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me...
Quite honestly, the Saudi royal family doesn't even have to worry about having the oil money, they can just worry about having esports money. Between them and Qatar, they turn everything up. Yes, I just turned it up. I was already ahead of you, whore. I was already tuning it. They don't even have to worry about having the oil money. The Western fundamentalism of bringing in the Sony sales, as well as esports work, and creating the Riyadh events, and the Esports World Cup, all of those Tier 1, Tier 2 esports, that's where all the money that they need comes from now. Sick and desperate weebs playing League of Legends will keep the Saudi royals well entertained and paid. Because Western entertainment is the bread and circuses that they use to smooth over a lot of these problems. Literal breads and circuses. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't have the right to make business, because that... The cats are fucking outside my window again. Because not only do they don't have to worry about any of the problems that would have come with that kind of fundamentalism, they can point their finger and say, and that is why we do this over here. At the very least, what we do is we make contracts with the WWE for the Royal Rumble. Then they attack your children at night. Who do you want to give your money to? They literally become better by proxy because they don't have to worry about those worst outcomes. The worst thing that has happened to it here is the integrity of an entire fucking sporting field, event, industry, space, and business. Over there, a 92.5% chance you get thrown off a roof. Basically. Literally.
Aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear. So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to mince words or try to oh, I wasn't justifying or, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really, but when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism, and I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in kind of positions below you, as gay people, women, people with disabilities, anything like that, I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort, and I feel like almost I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism, and I am, but whenever I categorize everybody in the area as this group, then I'm the asshole, and I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that, and it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, I don't really even know what the word is for it, just the most
Mongoloid?
spirited, rude, nasty, just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God. I look back at some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around listening and reading feedback and, just getting hyper-fixated, this is your entire life,
When you become the front page of Reddit, you stop having your own opinions and instead become the font of other people's opinions to justify their worldviews? Say it isn't so, bro!
Lose a perspective on reality, and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before, when I was making comments like this, and I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments for me. Everybody's telling me oh, go kill yourself, I hate you, everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do. I've always been I guess I've always been kind of an atheist. And even as a young kid, I was raised Roman Catholic, and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always had a negative opinion of religion, and I've also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chosen to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or what my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people fans of mine, I had viewers messaging me on Discord, why are you saying this? Do you want to talk? Do you want to, I'm willing to talk to you, and let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in 2016, 2017, 2018, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do. And I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists. I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I planned on streaming and everything, and I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said, oh, I heard about the suspension, I'm sorry. And I was I remember I was driving, and you'd think that your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole and I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it. Melt is pretty dry. Anyway, so the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc. And kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the main thing is that for the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, if you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been extremely unhealthy for me. And I think that what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that I'm not even a person anymore. It's like I'm Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, you know, like I made a list of all the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing, and I was writing it down, and I'm like, you know, fucking like, I'm just going and going. I'm like, oh my god, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, I'm like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my god, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing, and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream, etc.? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down... This is going to sound like... I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction, which is why I think that like getting suspended in this, I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently and make sure to live up to that reality. And so what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to like maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life. And also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just like expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like honestly it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can because, you know, I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, you just keep going, it doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter, and I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them. And I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them, and I think that I've let a lot of people down. And there have been things that I've done that are positive as well, but I think that one thing this thing has taught me, this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life I need to fix my fucking life. Like, it's...
I have to agree with you, Callum. I have no idea how much of this is him believing it, heartfelt, and how much of it is him being put in the position of a struggle session and having to eat crow because he's one of the biggest content creators. Therefore, he's one of the biggest targets. And if they can get him, then we can get anybody. It shouldn't need to be looked at like that. Because that's heinous. That's a heinous way to think about it. It's a heinous way to think about the outcome of what it is you'd like to hope people would understand. And it's not good. It's not a good outcome to want to think about, because it doesn't help people at all in any way, sort of fashion. It just makes it feel like there is no way to make a true path for forgiveness because forgiveness is not what people want in this scenario. They want their pound of flesh. They were promised their pound of flesh, so they're going to take it. And if he tries to wriggle his way away from it, there are going to be people saying, "No, you stay right there." And it's going to get wicked really fast. Like, I see no way where this does not get wicked really fast. Because I know that they will not let it go in the simplest ways possible. They will do the most. It's going to get wicked. It's going to get wicked. It is going to get wicked. 100%. 100% it's going to get wicked.
It's insane. Like, I think about it and it's in shambles. Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm going to take a step back from all of that. I'm going to step away from my leadership position and OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that. They respect that, and I want to do this. And I want to do this not only for them, but mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now. And I don't even think that I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be. And I'm sorry. And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about a tone. I listen to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person. And it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very
r/atheism enjoyment is coming out. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. That's a crazy thing to admit to.
Negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam, and I've made a lot of criticisms of it. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it, and I've been like watching things about it, and I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is, but I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit the Middle East and see it for myself. I want to see it for a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey. There's no ulterior motive there at all. But it's not just that. I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places. I mean, the truth is that, and this is the worst thing about what I said, some of the places I would want to visit, I might not be able to because of the way that they're like just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it, and I want to see it for myself because I don't like believing what people tell me. And I think that when I do, I end up being a fool. And I want to see it. I want to see it for myself, and I want to experience it, and I want to live my life. And I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like, clean up part of my house. I'm going to try to do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance. And I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done and for letting my life get this out of control. And I don't need to get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the the idiots out there that, they're, like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing. And if I can do that for one person, well, I've already done it for myself. I've already done a good thing. And so it could only get better. And so that's what my plan is. I'm going to try to like rethink my life. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. People I would have never expected reach out to me in ways that I never expected. And I understand that, I'm still very critical about, religious fundamentalism, right? But when you paint with such a broad brush that you just include an entire group of people, you're just being you're being a piece of shit. It's like people said it was racist. I didn't mean it as racist, but if you listen to what I said, it's easy that you could assume that. So easy. And so I'm just a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking moron. I've been an asshole. I think that I've devolved for the last 2 years. I think that I've negatively affected other people too, in ways that I hate. I don't even hate to say this. Like, I think I need to say this. I need to say it more. I've negatively affected people in ways that I regret. I think whenever I go back live again, I'll probably talk about that more. And, like there's some just different people I kind of want to apologize to and, take accountability for things that I've said and done that have negatively affected other people in ways that were unfair and wrong. And that's what my plan is. That's about it. I want to say that I hope that now, after you've heard what I have to say, that a lot of you all can see kind of why I'm saying that I appreciate this. I really think that this is something I needed, and I hope that this is the next part of the rest of my life. And I want you guys to hold me accountable to that. So if I'm being a fucking asshole again, if I'm being mean, if I'm just being callous, acting like a psychopath, just treating people awfully outside of a well raid when they get killed by fire, but really laughing at people's misfortune, try to say, man, just chill the fuck out, stop it. Just stop. And I'm gonna do my best to listen. I spent 2 years ignoring it, and look where it got me. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the problems in my life. And I want to thank everybody for making me aware that that's the case. And hopefully I can avoid the iceberg, right? And so I want to say that's pretty much about all I've got. I'm sorry for a lot of people I let down, not just with comments like this, but also just with the way I've been doing things in general. I think that you guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting. And I hope that I can live up to that in the future. And I don't even want to think about it in the future, right? As soon as I get unbanned, the best apology is better content, change behavior. And that's what I hope to do. So yeah, anyway, guys, I'm just going to focus on myself for a while, try to improve my own life. And there's a lot of things I think, again, I'll probably talk about more whenever I go live again that are like more kind of, just like kind of in the weeds, like personal stuff. But overall, that's the big picture. That's where I'm at. And so anyway, that's about all I've got. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to try to just take this time off to, really kind of fix my shit. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's about it. I'll see you later. Bye.
Decent apology. Very decent apology. The ultimate question you have to ask is, RedTube didn't exist in TOS, so so dumb would he be saying this? Well, I can't prognosticate that, because in order to get the answer to that question, you'd have to ask yourselves, if you didn't have the people who were in the positions of power that led to the opportunity for the things that happened that were being commented on for the debate to exist in the first place, would he be saying it? I don't know. If the TOS wasn't the way that it was when Destiny said what he said when he was banned, would he have been banned? If it were any other way, in any other context, for any other situation, for any of the streamers that were responsible for their own outcomes and led to their own bans, would they have been banned? Maybe. Maybe. Because I'd like to believe that he is the kind of person that knows what he said was not what he believes. He knows what he said and was saying was not what he truly believed in his heart of hearts. He has to. For my specific outlook, I have to believe that he knows that what he said isn't how he ultimately feels. Because if it is, at the end of the day, how he ultimately feels, that's scary. That's just scary. And the reason that's just scary is that if he has that viewpoint, I don't know what that message was. If he has that viewpoint and he's only saying this to save face, there's a bigger problem. If he's only saying this because he has to save face, there is a bigger problem. There is a much bigger problem. A much bigger problem. I don't know if we're ready for that conversation. That conversation would be really annoying really fast. And it'd be a very simple conversation of, damn, I can't believe people did that thing. Can you believe that people did that thing? It'd be a circle. It'd be a big old circle. A big old circle. Alright, moving forward. Boop, boop, a boop. Boop, 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 boop. Notepad, notepad, why won't you move? Notepad, notepad, open, my dude. My notes won't open! My notes won't open! I have to open it this way. There we go. Alright. In unrelated news, on an entirely different topic, the legal mindset. One of the many VTuber enjoyers. happens to have a full breakdown of the response that has come through because of extremely permanently online Twitter users getting attacked yet again because of a tweet that was made by the artist of Pop Team Epic. You have 10 guesses to guess what happened. All the guesses are correct. I don't even think it's in my feed. No, I'd have to scroll down my timeline, and we all know what's in my timeline. But no. They were being antagonized because they drew a black character too light. All of the comments, literally all of the comments, are exactly what you expect. All of them. All of them. And it's annoying that they're like that. Because, of course, all of the opinions, and this comes hot off the press, by the way, right after that entire art situation involving chibi arts, you know, over the Dandadan, where unironic weebs decided to hack the account of a YouTuber and post child porn on it because they didn't like his opinion about Dandadan. This happened immediately after that. This led to this transliterated breakdown, which comes to us on behalf of them, through him. Take a second to resize this. Open. Oop. Open. 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 Have to get a little bit bigger. Screen. Okay. Let us read. Attention, Japanese artists. Are you currently, or have you been, harassed by multiple accounts on Twitter because of one of your works? We understand that in recent days, many users on Twitter have decided to target Japanese artists for several reasons: a character's skin tone, a character's outfit, or bust size or clothing. What often follows is a massive amount of negative comments urging you to change or remove your artwork from the platform. You have not done anything wrong with posting your artwork. Your creative vision has merely attracted the attention of bad actors on the platform who will seek to silence you because your creative vision does not agree with their standards. Please understand, you are not at fault. The problem lies solely in the minds of these users. You have not violated any laws, Twitter TOS, or unspoken rules. Your freedom of expression is important. We realize that Japanese culture appreciates criticism and negative feedback differently than other nations, but it's important that you understand your individual rights as a creator. What you should do if you are approached negatively about your artwork: check the account information of the user who is disparaging or demanding that you change or remove your work. If the biography or header contains any of the following, which is age and information followed by a number below the number of 18, the following acronyms BLM or ACAB, gender pronouns, period, he, him, she, her, or they, them, any of the following emojis, panopticon. It's so fun that we started calling it panopticon, but the pansexual pride flag, hearts, the Callum, you would know this one. What's the political movement that's represented by the red rose? It's not coming to mind. It's not coming to mind for me. The circling hearts is a new one to me. And then, of course, hammer and sickle. Is it conservative something? I swear it's conservative something. I know this is more British in nature. I don't remember which one it is, but I know it's a left-leaning party. Democrat, Socialist, Labor Unionist Movement. Thank you. So, Dem socks. The following emojis with any kind of alternate lifestyle choices, such as poly, pan, or demi, or imaginary, I'm air quoting this, imaginary gender identification, such as genderqueer or demiqueer, any form of the word feminist, any reference to a K-pop group, Any reference to mental illness, such as bipolar, autistic, Asperger's disease, neurodivergent, neurospicy, which is a crime against people like horror because actual neurospicy people can't even talk about themselves and identify the thing they have. Just take everything from him. And then an avatar or a header with characters from Pokemon, Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing, or My Hero Academia. Specifically those four. You can ignore criticism from these accounts. These should be considered as warning signs that the user you are dealing with is either a person under the age of 18, a person lacking in mental stability, or a person otherwise lacking in mental maturity. All of said users have one goal in common. They are here to push an agenda. They wish to silence you, to suppress your ability to present your work, because it does not fit with their ever-fluid standards. If you are targeted by any account that meets the preceding criteria, you may do any or all of the following. Ignore, block, mute, and report the user for targeted harassment, with a sample example of a fictitious user for them to reference. A character of sample user with villager face, with a panopticon flag, and the transgender pride flag. Actually, transgender emoji, that's what that is. 14, BLM, ACAB, poly, he, she, they, BTS, trans rights or human rights, Ganondorf main, Bakugo is Bakugo. They had to have got the help from an American to write that. Because it's spot on! Alternatively, you may continue to present your artworks on other platforms with a much more understanding audience, such as Pivx or Minds, or Gumroad. Do not do any of the following. Do not apologize. Do not issue a public apology. Do not delete your post. And do not edit your artwork to their standards. Any user whose information meets these criteria and does not seek to force you to change or remove your artwork, but instead offers helpful criticism or praise, should be treated as you normally would, as a potential fan. Why are users behaving this way? You are likely being singled out as a potential victim of cancel culture, which is a mob tactic of shaming any form of expression that does not fit an established rule of criteria that is admittedly both Western and very socialist. As a result of exposure to ongoing propaganda campaigns, many of said instigators will be young, not Japanese, have no understanding of Japanese culture, and will not be exposed to the cultural norms of mangaka or Japanese societal norms. Understand this, these people do not represent the majority of Western culture. Most of Western culture considers these people to be immature, obnoxious, and otherwise racist against the Japanese creators. These people do not represent the dominating mindset of Western views on Japanese artwork. They are children seeking a purpose and acting as though they have been indoctrinated by their twisted and malformed views of globalized equality. They are not your audience. They are not authority figures. They do not have any authority to prevent you from displaying your works. They are bullies. They should be ignored and not given the attention that they crave. We would like to urge you to keep working, keep presenting your artworks as you would present them to the world. Even if you do not believe your artwork is perfect, understand that people who are attacking you are not attacking the merits of your work. They are attacking you based on a checklist of values that are likely to change tomorrow as it is today. Please continue to work hard. Ignore the children who believe that they have more power than they actually do. Me personally, this is great. I love it. I love the fact ignorant isn't your entire fucking identity. I know it's not. It's the fact that even if it were to come up in a conversation, they've destroyed the conversation topic around mental topics, mental learning handicaps, and just general learning disabilities, life-altering choices, handicaps, alternative forms of views, alternative moral systems, alternative learning systems. They've destroyed all conversation topics around them that it makes it hard for everybody. And it's fucking irritating for everyone. And yes, the fact that I have to see a 14-year-old opinions at any point in the day is a human rights violation. To me, I love seeing this. Because this is the shit that I felt when I did my 3-hour video breaking down all the things that I saw. From everything from Tomatic and Magica to the who's who amongst... Ow, my face is itchy. Amongst the left-leaning people. From Sarah, Legend of Phoenix, and all the Twitter art people that have basically proliferated the entirety of the art discords that frequently go viral for the shit that happens inside of them. It is great that it's becoming more common amongst the people who are talking about it. That is such a weird time to ask me a question. Okay. That's a very big ask you just asked me for, sweetheart. But okay. I find it better and great that it's not just Western forward-facing shitposters, VTuber fans, and VTubers that are on the side of making sure these people get called out for the shit that they're doing. I got asked a very important question. Start asking me for something very specific and very important that I need to remember. It's good that it's not just shitposters and VTubers and occasional content creators with overlap with VTubers that are getting people to understand that this is a problem that doesn't go away by ignoring it. In the sense that you can't just make jokes about whitewashing, you know, Blacktober, Whitevember. You can't just shitpost away and shame these people into silence. They have to actively be demonstrated as, here's how what they're doing. Here's why they're doing it. Here's how they identify themselves. Here's how to fix it. It is great that this has gotten to this point. There's been posts like this that have gone around the way before. But now, these are being made not by Westerners trying to inform the Easterners. It's the Easterners informing other Easterners, and them seeing it with their own eyes and talking about it in their own spheres of interest. The niggas no longer have to do the work. We don't have to do the work. All we gotta do is just cheer them, and when they ask us questions, tell them, yes, absolutely. It is great that that's happening. Because the unfortunate part is that all of these things are true. Every single last one of these things are true. Every single time somebody goes viral for something like this, it's never because they're literally guilty of the worst thing you could think of. It's because they're guilty of something that doesn't fucking matter. Something that is not a big issue. That has been made into a big issue. And so, because they are willing to lift the legs and the groundwork, then that's not that big of a thing. Not that big of a deal. It's great. It's wonderful. Now, of course, the funny part about this is that the thing that I just showed you, that isn't even new. That's actually old, for over a year ago. The first time this happened. The thing that's important about this, which we don't have examples of, because I am not on Japanese Twitter, is how they've been reacting to them doing the thing that I talked about. Which, to show you, I need to go down. I've been scrolling on the timeline trying to find them lighting up all the people in the quote tweets about that topic. It's taking me a second. The amount of cope that was in the quote tweets, if I can find it. Because I think it was right before the other day. Past all the shit referencing the Typhlosion fic. It's taking me a while to get here. It's taking me a while to get there. Here. We have the example from here. these, we have this example, which was a transliterated picture of all the case examples. Namely, a black person is someone who's African American, races that have black that isn't tan-skinned, Japanese, East Asians that happen to be tanned, people who aren't even human to begin with, that are either dead, ghosts, or aliens, and how America views all of these characters in these ways. Go look for more. I have to go scrolling again. Yes, Mr. Mime and Ash's mom for the longest time was some of the things that most of us should have just never been shocked about. Me, personally, I always knew there was something going on there. I could smell it. I could smell it. Where is it? 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 Ah, here we go. Here's one of them. Here is one of them. So, as you can see here, from the Japanese posts, you can see some of the people who have been attacking them. This being the one on the left is the original photo picture of what the Poppy Team Epic mangaka drew and what people have been trying to compare them to. And then how they responded to this person attacking them over that. However, black people are crazy about drawing fan art that ignores the original settings and makes characters look black, and of them bringing up the blackwashing, as it were. The nigga washing. The back and forth, and the back and forth, and the back and forth, and the back and forth. As can also be seen here. As for the person on the left who is nitpicking, the fact that he's reposting the image on the right as an artist who redraws Japanese anime cartoons into black characters makes him either the real deal or a hoax. Namely, from Nutmeg Knight, why did you lighten her skin color? The eyedropper tool exists, bro. And then, reposting this image. Pretty much, as I'm showing you here, the Japanese people basically hit their limit. And now everybody's getting hit in the teeth. Again, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Punch him in the mouth. Punch him in the mouth. Punch him in the mouth. It's great. And yes, I memory hold the Celebi. I memory hold the Celebi movie. The less I remember, the better. It's just like Entei. Right. And now, that brings us to the last topic. If I can find the original thread that I was using. Here we go. JustARobot. The other day, we went over the video, and then I went over the interview. However, TriedLogic discovered that he had been lied to. And so, he dropped the links himself. I think there's like one extra video from Smash DT that we have to go through as the moment of Zen. Then there's like maybe... Actually, no, maybe two. I could have sworn that I did this one 3 months ago. When we get there, we'll have to figure it out, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Again, we'll go through that as the moments of Zen. But, getting to here. JustARobot did his interview that got scrutinized by everybody. And Chud Logic discovered that he had been lied to. So, he leaked all the DMs himself personally. Getting to the video.
He is admitting that he's crafting a video to defend them specifically. This is some next level autism, bro. I've never seen. Okay, he is 100% cooked now. That is, bro. He is. I will only be one of the 3 thumbnails I'll use. I'm sure people will think I just took some stuff from your videos and made it. Don't worry, I'm sure people won't notice this very obvious conflict of interest. Don't worry about it. You little wretch. Is that what you thought, was it? Is that what you thought? You thought you could piss on my boots and tell me it's raining? Well, tough it, bro. I don't know, I'm just going to show it on a podcast. I'm not sure, dude, I'm just in it for the content. Hello, you're having a VC. I can't wait now at work. Understood. I'm available for text, but I don't get for 3 hours. I can't wait for that. Would you like me to list out the questions I'll be asking you? You want to list, put the questions I have an answer on a call, confused. I'll give you a list of questions in text that I'll be asking in the call so you can get ready with answers when I ask them, I guess if you want to. And then you literally just send the questions. Did you take your apology down? If so, why? Did you look at the docs on you before you made your apology? Was the person who made the first doc the same person who made the old doc about you being with a 17-year-old when you're 19? Is the 14-year-old friends with the person who made the doc? Because if so, this might have been a setup. This guy is delusional. You've got the DMs? What do you mean a setup? An ongoing conversation? What the fuck? This guy's so cooked, bro. No, I do not think you're innocent in all of this, but I don't think groomer or predator is the right thing to call you. The things you did aren't good, but you weren't trying to get with a 14-year-old, at least from what I can see. You aren't on the same level as EDP or whoever else. That's not a question. How is that a question? You're making a statement. You're making a statement to them to allow them to cope about their level of culpability. Why are you going to give up your channel you spent years and years working on? It's almost 3 hours I'm going to brush my teeth as I wait. It's almost 3 hours I'm going to brush my teeth as I wait for you. I'm heading home. Awesome. I'm ready to go. Alright, I'm ready. Awesome. Then they have the call. Can you hear me? Oh. Okay, it's censored. It is censored, but I'll just throw it up to be on the safe side. So it's showing some video of some Omni-Man thing, and then it's the uncensored artwork of the fingering thing. Ask them whether they censored it. Yeah, perfect. I censored all the things I sent to Eno. I know that doesn't make it much better. I still shouldn't have sent that shit, but it's worth mentioning. The fact that you did that and people link what you made would have also made them groomers by their own logic. No, what is this? This is insane. How are they groomers by the same logic? The act of grooming is sending it privately to the minor, not just sharing it broadly. Like there's videos that exist on Pornhub. If you put a screenshot of the Pornhub video up and said, oh, look at this funny fucking, put it on Twitter and said, look at this funny screenshot, right? That's not grooming. Taking that screenshot and sending it to a minor and saying, what do you think of this porn video? That would potentially be a form of grooming, yes. The context is different. Right, this is like delusional levels of like argument. Great, Harley is coming into this. It's going to be a hard, long uphill fight. I just finished my recording for all the parts I'm going to change about my video on you. My video's rendered. I hope I can get it out tomorrow. Did you see what Jack has been tweeting yesterday today too? I've been working on recording all day. I think it's worth looking at. Okay, wow, that's our context. I finished editing. I'll call along with remaking my video on you. I'm going to send it to my editor and take a nap. Sorry, but also, yay. So I edited everything on my end and sent it to my editor. I had to review a lot of the old stuff I had to make it fit. I'm going to just record gameplay for the edit down call we had. 4 videos are an hour long already, but I'll be more than likely to add one more once what I have has been edited. Excited to see it? I want to show you a sneak peek. Why are you offering a sneak peek to the person who is part of this story that's accused of grooming you trying to get to the bottom of? But it really needs music, so the old audio works with the new audio. How long is your video going to be and how is it coming along? I rendered it last night. It's a little under 40 minutes. That sounds like a good length. Would it be alright if I see it? I didn't have time to do it last night. Oh shit. I think my computer's in its lifespan. It's blue screen. My roommate might be able to give you tips on how to fix it. Oh my fucking god. That's no way. It's not what you think it is, but it's still really bad, okay? Oh, how long are computers supposed to last? 5 to 10 years. Oh man. Want to see my cock? And it's a joke. What? What is going on, dude? This is like absurd. Each new revelation is more absurd than the last. Why are you joking with the person you're interviewing over grooming allegations? Why are you joking about sending your picture of your penis? Here it is. Also, the video is the closest one to your drama scene. What do you mean? Pyrocynical. Oh. You want me to talk sprites? Is it good with a goof? Hello, hey. Sorry, I just got worried because you didn't react at all. Sorry if I bothered you. It's school. On a VC. Right now, don't be at the same time zone. I couldn't sleep. I took drugs to get my video on you remade. I like Adderall, but sometimes it keeps you sleeping. My video's having a breakdown. Why did you read the other this early? It's the worst time to upload a video. I don't know. I'm freaking out. I really shouldn't have looked at the comments. Can I call you to tell you what to do? Bro. This is to be serious for a second. This is like a tremendous conflict of interest. Like, you're simultaneously trying to report on this story whilst privately offering them assistance and support and guidance. Like, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I can't prove this. In my opinion, because you've got some sort of interest beyond a professional one with this individual. You know, the cock thing can be played down as a joke, I guess, but that's, to me, a very clear indication of what your intent is here. You're trying to bring a flirtatious tone to the conversation. I think he's compromised on this. But even without my opinion, and just based on the facts, you should not simultaneously be writing a video, looking at a situation, whilst offering this much favour to one side of the position. It's nuts. Okay, just keep in mind, Peach's first video responding to everything didn't go over well, so hopefully you'll let me give you tips on what to do with the second one. Sorry if I'm scaring you. I just don't want you to give up. You really should have shown me this before you uploaded it. Also, monetizing the video wasn't a good move. I like money, but with something like this, it's best to do it later on. It'll be an uphill fight, but slowly more people will see the light. I don't understand why this video is being received so poorly. You made a mistake, not a rumor. Jack is twisting your words and actions and acting as though you're being understandably upset at some kind of personal attack. I hope you're doing okay. If you need someone to talk to, I can give you my socials because there's a lot I have to say regarding this. Oh my god, the voice notes work as well. Oh my god. It's not the end of the world. Trust me, after my video comes out, a few more will see the light, but I'll get a lot of backlash. Also, you need to show a lot more proof on screen next time. I can tell you rushing the videos a little bit, as I said before, it's not the end of the world. You can still win this drama. Why are you, as someone that is apparently covering this fairly, why are you talking to them about whether or not they'll win the drama? Your job is just to talk about what's happened plainly and fairly to all sides. You know, even if, like I've said in my coverage, I think this person's screwed, but I'm not sat here thinking, I hope this person is destroyed. Right? I'm sat here thinking, let the cards fall as they may, I think that this is going to be impossible to come back from. But if in 5 months' time they're still uploading with viewers, I'm not going to take any action in regards to that. I've got no skin in the game. Whereas this guy's putting himself in a position where he's got skin in the game whilst trying to do a video about it. Fucking hell, dude. Can I get an estimate on when your video will be out, please? If all goes as planned, I think I should have it done this week, but I'll be adding a little more to it and get info from you and your friends. I need this to go well because people are twisting things. Shit.
Denny, I know it sucks, everything you're going through. You just want it to be over. You want me to finish up my video as soon as possible. But it's better I get this right than fast. I just don't want you to deal with this anymore, and if I take my time with it...
Bro, he's admitting, dude, he is admitting that he's crafting a video to defend them specifically.
The sooner this will be over. But trust me, I'm working as hard as I can. I'm going by this as quickly as possible, and I'm very tired. I actually stayed up all night last night. I just got up from a nap because, like, I need to get this done as soon as I can, but I still need to simultaneously take my time with it. Just...
That's crazy, dude. Well, just pull up all that shit we said the other day about maybe he's learned. Nope. Nope. You shouldn't have given him any charitability, Carl. Carl, you shouldn't have given him no chair. Carl, you are a dumbass. You fucking idiot. How dare you try to give this man context and opportunities to have a possible outcome that is anything close to reasonable. You fucking buffoon. You absolute madman. Ah! Stupid. You're stupid, Carl. Why would you ever give him the benefit of the doubt? Ah. That was a weird thing up in my eye. Oh. First of the Carl, you were wrong drinks. Moving forward.
Keep your channel up, and keep your spirits up as well, because we will get out of this.
I completely understand. I want you to do your best. I'm not rushing you, I'm sorry. You don't need to be sorry, you're going through a lot. You maybe want to talk to Kumo and gang. Is that what you mean by getting info from me and friends between Jack? I'm going to be talking to everyone. You need my help with that? Yes, I do. I'm working on the video right now. I'm adding in extra clips and a few other things right now. I'm going to do what I can to help.
How do I make money off the press people?
It's clear as spit that he thought this was an easy sell and he could swoop in after Kumo abandoned her and be her knight in shining chrome. Now that he's flopped, not even the wizard of toss to warm the couples of this robot's cold little heart.
That's a crazy dono. Thank you, Stylo. That because someone else. Please make the next Dude, this guy's so stupid. It's impossible. Cinebear cannot make a response video like Pyro, because Cinebear has not got any level of plausible deniability on their actions because they knew how old they were. What is this fucking obsession with, oh, make it like Pyro? It's just like the Pyro situation. It's not. You're wrong. You're wrong. Why would you do this? You're selling this person down the river. But they're trying to help, but they're making it worse. I'm still at work on the video about you. Luckily, 95% of the audio and about 50% of the editing is done. Yippee, I'm finding a police report. Sounds good to me. I'm sure we'll get your stuff back. I hope so. My fucking god, this is stressful, but I know you're going through 100 times more than me. I just hope my video makes things better, not worse. I'm so sorry. If you want to talk about stress, I feel bad that you're going through this shit for me. I appreciate it, but I feel bad. I can offer an ear if you want, since you did the same for me. Yes. Dude. Coaching this person when you're ostensibly out there to do a video about it, the rabbit hole, and then you're arguing with people about what your video when you are behind the scenes trying to console this person and help them win the drama. This is like deranged behaviour. What the fuck? This is like disgraceful shit. I don't know what the relevance of these are exactly, but I don't want to look at the DMs within the DMs. Presumably this is related to what they were talking about on the call. Okay, I need to... Okay. Again, sorry if I overwhelmed you with the topic. I'm a gold medal complainer. It's cool you're going through a lot, and I'd like to know. Cat. Okay. It's just... This is like... I cannot... It's like my brain cannot process the absurdity of this. It's too much. Like, it's too absurd. It's like it's not real to me. My editor is going to send me what he has for now. I'm going to send him an extra 10 minutes. After that, I'll go over the video one more time to add in a handful of small things. Sounds epic and awesome. Any updates? Just waiting on the last 10 minutes to be edited. Then we can look over my video to see if there's anything I forgot to add. Sorry that's taking so long. No, you're fine. I'm glad you're taking your time.
Listen, this is a long video, and I need to make sure it's perfect. And I can't have multiple editors working on it. Only one, because if more than one editor works on this video, word might get out. Luckily, 97% of the audio is done, and about 75% of the editing is done, so it's coming along pretty nicely.
Don't worry, I'm still working on the video, but tomorrow a different video that a friend has been working on even before your drama started wants me to upload his long video. I've also been putting my other editors to work on videos for the other channels, but the one editor working on your video was against you because he's almost fully on your side and I was worried for your safety. Terrified for my animals. It feels like everyone thinks I'm crazy for being scared. Well, I'm better than everyone and I don't think you're crazy. I really hope this goes well, I'm not a monster. No, you're human, so we're all monsters. But you are, I guess that's meant to say, a groomer. You aren't a groomer, sorry. I thought it was a gooner. I thought you were saying you aren't a groomer. Okay. I'm not even willing to entertain my definition BS I was talking about my video. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I know I did hurt people and I'm so fucking scared of how this will affect them in the future, but I never wanted to hurt them and I didn't realise it was until it was too late. I don't want to hurt people. I don't know what that makes me. I'm not sure I care. I just want to do better. I don't want to be a monster. So notice here that City Bear is saying that they're walking back from their definition argument. So they're saying they don't want to do the definition argument anymore, you know, which is exactly right. Like, arguing about the definition is retarded. Like, City Bear recognises how stupid it is to argue about the definition when the behaviour is so egregious. But JustARobot still proceeds with his plan and his video. When City Bear themselves are saying, I don't want to do the definition BS. Because it's just that, BS, it's worthless, it's pointless. You're super reasonable, you are super irresponsible, stupid and careless. But you're clearly not a groomer, and I think you got more than enough punishment for what you did. I'm putting my reputation on the line to help you because I believe you're not a groomer. Anyone going to bed? Okay, I'm sorry, don't be. You didn't make me do this. Or by making your apology in the way you did. Thank you for trying to help me. I do or do not. There is no try. This is some next level autism, bro. I've never seen that. Autism is magnitude. I'm here to 2 magnitude. It's crazy. Oh, it's from Star Wars Episode 5 of the OG trilogy. No, joking. Want to VC. I just need a few more things to know from you. I thought you were going to be. Will I be able to help with that? Let's find out. I just want to chat with the. Oh my god, no, it was. Let's find out. I just need someone to chat with as I drift off to sleep. You can say no. Okay, he is 100% cooked now. That is, bro. He is fucked. He is 100%. If you doubted it already, I obviously said earlier I thought this guy's compromised like this. This is proof. He's compromised. He has got some sort of weird attraction to this person now, and he wants to talk to him to drift off to sleep. I just need someone to chat with as I drift off to sleep. You can just say no. I'll just take that as a no, lol. We weren't going to chat about anything important. I just like talking with anyone as I pass out. Good night. Sorry, I was playing with my cat, lol. I got her a thing, and she was messing with it. I can call.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the, I didn't see it. Thank you very much for the support. For the super chat, Lumpy Willy. So I added Kumo on Discord. Yo, take these and leave Cindy alone. Oh, I'm pretty sure that Kumo was sending JustARobot the Discord logs. These Discord logs here. I think that's a link to all of these logs. Take these and leave Cindy alone. Leave her alone. Your roommate and partner are correct. And honestly, I don't buy your selfless act. I see you for what you are. And because I actually want Cindy to grow and change, I don't see anything you're doing to be helpful, and giving a false hope is just a setback. I'm super lost as to what's going on. I've been sick the last few days. I saw your message on Twitter. That's when I thought it was time to add you. Yeah, I mean, this false hope thing is very true. Kumo, no. I mean, look, I think Kumo's fucking retarded for being anywhere close to this, okay? But I think that Kumo has got City Bear's best interests at heart regardless. Like, I think it's fucking insane that Kumo can say this. But, like, clearly, he is recognising that she's cooked, right? And the best you can hope for is that City Bear grows and changes and stops being a total freak degenerate. But in terms of the public profile, it's done. What can you do? It's over. I'm pretty sure Kumo accepts this. Okay, see, look, Kumo's in chat. Kumo, listen. At the end of the day, I personally would not do this, but I always do say that I think that someone needs to have someone. I think City Bear's a total deranged freak, and I wouldn't be anywhere near them. But do I think that you know, people should all cut ties with City Bear? Well, how does that help anyone? City Bear's a totally deranged freak, nonce groomer as far as I'm concerned. But if someone else wants to fucking support them as they try and move forward, as long as they're not lying about it, as long as they're not making videos misrepresenting the situation, yeah, I don't fucking care. If Kumo said to me, should I help this person? I'd say, I wouldn't fucking do it, mate. No way. But I think that Kumo is at least got the best interests at heart, whereas it's very clear that JustARobot is trying to, like, weirdly manipulate the situation so he's got someone to talk to while he goes to sleep.
It's worse than that. He's trying to manipulate the situation so he can literally get himself a girlfriend out of the situation. This is a level beyond gooning. This is a level beyond gooning. This is a level beyond gooning that I don't think we have ever truly been able to experience in any outside significant capacity than ever seen or heard or spoken about before. The sheer energy. For me, it's the sheer energy. It's the sheer energy. For me. Because it doesn't just begin and end from, I saw a news story, I tried to cover the news story didn't turn out well for me. He wants to, yeah. Yeah, he wants a side chick. That's what it was. He wanted a booty call. He wanted an emotional booty call. This is wild. This is a level beyond wild that I could have never really considered when I was looking at it the same way the other fucking day. Why? 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 Okay. Before I say my next thing, we need to go back to the argument that I was saying the other day. And to do that, I need to put up the thumbnail that's on Chud's video, because it's the quickest picture I have to immediately reference the physical appearance of these two people in question. 1 second. This one. This one. This, and do this, into this, and this, and then this. Open this. Okay. All right. JustARobot, Cinebear, two people, opposite sides, and then the PNGs they use to represent themselves. If you, Jar, already have a woman, why are you trying to make a parasocial jump off with Cinebear? I don't care what their first names are. Why are you, in relationship person, trying to make a jump off? For those that don't know what a jump off is, that's a booty call with interest. With interest. Why are you trying to do this with Cinebear and trying to change the context behind why you got involved with them from I'm trying to save you, don't backstab me? Why? 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 You're obviously not that much of a looker. Why are you out here trying to do sex kitten Discord shit? Why? What is the reason? What is the reason? Why even joke about showing them a picture of your penis? I'm so flabbergasted. I'm so flabbergasted. I am so flabbergasted. I'm gagged, honestly. That's me. That's me right there.
And I think Kumo, if I understand it correctly, recognises that Cine Bear's cooked. This false hope. Cine Bear cannot come back from this. It is over.
Listen, Cine, I can't promise this will fix everything for you, or even anything for you. I don't want...
Listen, Cine. Listen, Cine. Ah! It physically hurts. It's a level of cringe beyond the normality that you usually have to see. For people on the outside looking in, seeing two people having a love connection and the two of them zhuzhing and clanking always feels weird. But with the known context now, that this is a man trying to save somebody from allegations they definitely are going to have a hard time beating. And he can't hold down a quote real job because he can't stop himself from being a fucking cringe lord. It's like, it's right here. It's heartburn right here in my chest, right here. Makes me uncomfortable. It takes a lot to make me uncomfortable.
I want you to feel like you have a false sense of hope. I'll do what I can, but that's it.
Diesel Baby became a member.
I hope
Diesel Baby celebrates 12 months of membership. They are both trying to get into her pants, TBH.
Thank you for the membership.
That the allegations on you are much more rough. But I'm gonna do what I can to help. Because I know this shit is and will leak into your real life.
Let me talk to my friends 1 sec. So other people think the video will be helpful. I'll listen in a sec. I don't guarantee anything being fixed. I don't expect anything to be fixed, but I really appreciate that you're willing to do this for me. I'm tuned to my faith. I don't know what the outcome will be, but the fact that you're trying to at all puts me at ease. I hope you know that. I just don't know why it always has to be like this. I'm sorry, it's cool. I'm gonna get some screens off another YouTuber, so give me some money. Lol. I can really do anything else because I'm a little sick, and all my editors are working on stuff. Makes sense. I'd be considering getting an editor for a bit, but I don't make enough money to pay another person for labour. Also, I don't think I make enough content to need an editor. I'm looking forward to seeing your video. Again, I know it's not going to fix my life, but I personally take comfort in knowing someone is choosing to defend me. I'll keep working on it. I can't wait to get into a multi-year-long drama with 6 art commentary community people over this. Dude, so much focus on the meta of this too. Who cares about the fucking meta of this shit, dude? Dude, at this point we know what's going on, right? He got too close to the story, he caused some sort of weird feels for this person, and it's guided his entire process in making this video. Even in the face of obvious retardation, he's pursued ahead with this, and he's fucked himself. Is it loneliness? Does he just want someone to talk to? Is there a sexual attraction there? I don't fucking know the exact nature of it. There's multiple arguments you can make. But all this shows is he is totally and utterly compromised. It's mind-boggling to me that he's got these DMs, and he still thinks it's acceptable to put the video out as it is. Maybe he thought, dude, I mean, look, at the end of the day, yeah, fucking, this was said to me by someone. I don't know if they want to remain nameless or not. But, you know, it paints a picture. It obviously paints a picture here of completely and utterly unacceptable interactions with someone you're trying to write a story on. I blame my parents. Okay. What are we playing at work right now?
Alright, Mamacita, I'll hit you up when I get home.
Alright, Mamacita, I'll hit you up when I get home. Man.
Okay, me and my friend are at a crab place getting some grub, but after that I'm heading home, and when I get home, I'm gonna
He's giving your checkups! He's giving your relationship checkups! This is what you tell your partner. This is not what you tell people that you interviewed for the purposes of a story. I'm like furiously disgusted and I'm furiously upset at the same time. Couldn't get this shit out of me! Could not get this out of me!
show you what I have so far for the video. Everything but our edited down call because my editor hasn't sent me that part of the video.
Remember what I said about why are you editing things out of the video? You need to leave shit exposed. Goddamn, Pascal, your intuition was right, but it was in the wrong directions. Gooners! 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 Gooners. 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 Gooners.
But yeah, I am too hungry to focus right now, so that's why I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna head home, and then we can like look through the video together.
Okay, I'm home. Let me post the video and put it in the Google Drive. I'm gonna take a shower. Yo. Been wondering what was taking so long. Discord restarted, I didn't get you noticed. My bad, bro, but I'm here now. Yeah, cool. Whatever this is. Okay, we got. I don't know. What time is it? Dude. He's got to do some other task, he says. I don't know if I'm getting the run around, but I'm not going to stay streaming for ages if waiting for someone if they're not going to be here. I might talk to him tomorrow.
How do I make money off depressed people?
In focusing on the meta of this makes me think he has delusions of grandeur. He thinks he's a king making sweeping moves and deserves a concubine for his troubles. Sorry, Jar, you're just a YouTuber.
Thank you for the $10. I mean, yeah, but what can I do? I can't force him to come onto a call with me. He says he's got to do another task. Need proof for this part. So that's 29 minutes. You're cutting out so bad, bro. Need proof for this part. Oh my god. And the groomer sent him the screenshot that he used in the video to talk about grooming. So he is receiving information about what grooming is from the person that's accused of grooming, and he's used that in his video. That is fucking nuts, dude. I mean, that's fine to show. Definition I got was from the Rain Foundation. And some of these, you could argue that some of these are tick in the box. Testing the waters, that's present. There's not really coercion. There's not really isolation. Not really getting trust. Favoritism. The offender treats the child as an adult, treating them differently, making them feel like a unique friend. That's present. Using present special attention. Treats, spending time together and playing games with non-sexual physical contact. Also, this seems to be more of like a physicality thing. This seems to be more of like in a physical presence of someone that this is happening. Okay, that's fine to show, I think, but it's just saying don't scroll down. No, this is fine. There's not anything that crazy that I can't show, I don't think. Just to make sure she's right on this. Romantic Goblin. In our chatbot, she was asking about 13 plus in the server. Dude, this is so... Why are you focused on this? Dude, he's... What has he done here? What is he doing? What is this guy doing to himself? I'll fix up the video. Sorry, I'm being so uncertain about this in particular. I don't know what my issue is. The point is, if I get one thing wrong, people will try to use it to say the full video is bad. No, I know, people are stupid, I understand. Luckily, it's not a big change, but it'll make it a little worse. That being said, it's only about 0.8%, so you should be good. By the way, you're going to make a thumbnail for the video. I wanted to ask what you wanted for the thumbnails, I don't have an idea. How about this with me as Buzz and you as Woody? With a text saying, exposed videos everywhere. So this is obviously extremely autistic, but on top of that as well, is Cinny Bear making the thumbnail? Am I understanding this correctly? Or maybe something with you about to burn at the stake? Also, are you sure it's a good idea to have me make the thumbnail? Cinny Bear is pointing out the problem with this. Also, are you sure it's a good idea to have me make the thumbnail? It might make bad faith actors assume the worst before even watching a video. I feel like my style is pretty recognisable. I will only be one of the 3 thumbnails I'll use. I'm sure people will think I just took some stuff from your videos and made it. Don't worry, I'm sure people won't notice this very obvious conflict of interest. Don't worry about it.
That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's wild. Mm-mm. No, that's wild.
I'm blown away. I'm totally blown away by this, guys. He said he's red soda. He's saying it's red soda. This is unprecedented. This is the first time I've seen something like this. Totally unprecedented scenario. I'm blown away. Maybe not if I draw it myself, but if you're sure, it'll be fine and okay. It'll be my first time drawing JustARobot Man. Yay, make me sexy. So many small parts of the design. Is there a reference you have? Robots. Does this help? Yeah, thank you. What are the other thumbnails? I mean, you've seen the groomer one. Got to get people who hate you to click on the video. The other one is going to use this. Cries. I think I'll start drawing tomorrow. It's late. Process in the last version of the video now. Could you send me Jack and Nina's Discord? It's on my computer. Awesome. You want the Discord tags for your DM exports? Yes. Discords. I'll have them tomorrow and try and get calls with them. Okay. Full video. Out to be every other thing. It's long. Also, my love long form content. Okay. Okay, dude. Also, I'm going to try and reach out to Logic. Oh, I remember liking his stream. I think with his help, along with the recording. You little fucking bitch! You little wretch! Is that what you thought, was it? Is that what you thought? You thought you could piss on my boots and tell me it's raining? Well, tough fucking shit, bro. Unlucky. What fucking planet do you think you're on that you can use my platform like that? Do you think I wasn't gonna fucking notice? You fucking retard. You little autistic freak. Holy fuck, dude, I'm furious. I'm fucking furious, bro. Who does this guy think he is? He thinks he can fucking launder a shitty video past me without noticing and we put it on my channel to my fucking viewers. What a little fucking autistic wretch this guy is. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me, bro.
That's fucking heinous.
Unbelievable.
That's fucking heinous. You tried to get a lie past a large content creator in the goal of trying to goon where no chuddit has ever gooned before. And you bragged about it in a DM with the woman you were trying to goon with. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Why are people dumb? Why are people like this? There's no shot that this is how people normally are. No world. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that it could be that simple. There's no world. I swear to God, there's no world. There's no world that that's what they did. But apparently there is a world. There is a world, and we're living in it. It's a Gooner's paradise, and we're just living in it. You know, villainous people used to be normal. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Google. I'm Gordon sounds stupid as fuck. Not against you, I just hope I don't sound stupid. I think I'm a retard. I also don't sound my best. I was sleeping, you were scared. How's the thumbnail coming along? I got most lineup done. Fuck your design, it's hard to draw. Alright, you can look over the video and tell me what you think. I still need to add the tags and all the other stuff. Why get me out of there? Okay, what is this? Oh, we've got the artwork. We've got the artwork there. Sorry it looks garbage, but this is what I have right now. Also, I think the call was a bit too edited. There's this thing I say that led into nothing because the next few things I say got cut. And there's parts where I start talking about a thing and it sounds like it came out of nowhere, when I know there was extra context before it. I feel like re-editing it will take a long time. If that can't be done, can there be some sort of acknowledgement when things get cut? I said it's an edited down call. Okay, let's talk about the call. Struggling with the robot body. Talk about the Discord request not going through. Right. I'm actually furious. I'm furious that people think, I mean, bro, this is hardly the first time it's happened. You really think you're going to be able to sneak this past me? You think you're going to be able to fucking send this to me and I'm going to watch the video and clap along like a seal? And you think you're going to get past me? And not only that, you think you're going to get past my audience? I'm afraid to say my audience are a bit fucking sharper than that, okay? They're not just going to sit there as I clap along to a video if I retardedly agreed with it, right? They're not going to sit along and go, oh yeah, Chud's right about this. My entire chat would be ripping me to pieces if I had the wrong take on your video. Even if I retardedly did something here. Fuck me, dude. Fuck me, bro. Okay, I thought it was when you stood up. What's up? Can I call? In a bit, I'm closing. I'm going to pass out now. Shit, my bad. How much longer? Another call. Exposure is everywhere. And then Kumo leaked the video. Video's now live. Did you show Kumo or anyone the video after I told you not to? I think Goblin did. I'm pissed off and I'll find out who did it. Dude, what the fuck? Wait, didn't I get a chance to give you the timestamp? Did you remove what I asked? Please tell me you did. Kumo didn't take it out, but I found it myself. Fuck that guy for what he did. Good news, the video's going over well. They're being removed. YouTube takes time. I don't know what Kumo is thinking. I'm freaking out a bit. I know, I'm hoping it'll be done in a few hours. Video is going over well, but I'm shocked we try and backstab us like this. I'm scared. I'm as well. Fuck Kumo for doing this. Chud Logic said he'll make a reaction to my video back tomorrow. He would have reacted to it in the day, but it was out. Kumo just had to be a piece of shit. What? I mean, yeah, for Chud Logic. I'll try and catch the stream.
Listen, I am so beyond pissed off at...
Right, this is total false hope as well, because by this point, I'd long been condemning of Cinebear, and I said that I think the actions could reasonably constitute grooming. So you're giving like this false hope that I'm going to watch it and be like, yeah, well, I've already said my piece about it, having reviewed the DMs.
Kumo for what he did. I'm also pissed off at whoever leaked him my video. I was very specific. Don't show this to anyone. Apparently, no one wanted to listen to me. This fight is going to be a lot harder now. A lot harder. But I'm going to put power through it and try to get everything sorted. Right now, the video seems to be going over well. People are listening to what I'm saying. But a lot more people would be listening to what I'm saying if someone didn't fucking leak the video. I'm never working with him again. And once I...
Let's put ourselves in Jar's shoes here. You tried to goon in a place where gooners had never gooned before. Because you really wanted... And let's put it back on the screen again for context. This... to be your gooning partner. Why didn't you just keep this to yourself? If your goal was to try and get this past a content creator, why didn't you just keep this in-house and never involve a single other person? Like, am I wrong for saying that? Am I missing something? Because there's no world where I'm not going to call you retarded for this. You did all this shit to yourself. Embarrassing.
Found out who leaked it. I'm probably going to not work with them either, because this was a very big breach of my trust. I put everything I had, like my entire channel's reputation on the line for this, and this is the things I get. Honestly, I'm mostly upset at myself for thinking that something like this wouldn't happen, because something like this always happens.
I didn't send it to anyone. I finished it was Goblin, sent it to Kumo. I'm sorry, dude. This upsets me too, because I feel like it just makes everything a whole lot more difficult for me. I don't get Kumo's angle. I know he doesn't think what I did was okay. He thinks I'm stupid, but he also said he's my friend and this was personal.
Okay, well, to be fair, you are stupid. But, yeah, I'm just shocked that he would do something like this. Like, I had Chud Logic ready to go over the video on Sunday. I had all this shit lined up. I just need to show people...
Oh, did you know? Oh, did you know? Oh, did you know? Did you? You had it all lined up, did you? Fucking little rat. Trying to fucking put on this image that he's this fucking connected. Let me tell you what happened, right? He messaged me. He didn't tell me what he wanted, so I ignored him, okay? He then said that he's doing a video about Cinebear, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look at it when it's out, right? And then he messaged me all this shit about this drama, about like, oh, it's leaked and I don't know what's going on. And I said, okay, I'll take a look at it tomorrow, right? That's what happened. He's acting like there was some connection here, like he fucking, you know, called up a fucking blinder or something. Bro, what are you on about? You're fucking deranged, you're delusional. I had a passing interest in your video. I was kind of done with the Cinebear drama. And you're acting like you pulled some strings to get me to watch it, clearly thinking that you can fucking get this passed under my fucking notice of how shit this is. Fuck me, dude.
And that Jack was running away from it, and I had everything lined up. And Kumo, the dipshit he is, decides to pull this shit. Over what? Like, seriously, over what? I am actually incredibly pissed off. I'll keep working on my videos and all that. I'm working right now, but yeah, he really tipped me off, and I don't think I'm gonna trust him ever again.
Mrs. Jack, I don't think so. Okay. It looks like I get 100 dislikes before I get 1k likes. At least I have more likes than dislikes. You're doing better than me. Yes, it's 20% dislikes, but it's hard fighting so many people off almost all by myself. I'm sorry. It's okay, I knew get some backlash, but it was more than I thought due to Kumo. My video has 100 dislikes but 500 likes. Scary. My point is that most people seem to like the video, but a few are not going to have their minds changed. Okay. It's been public for a while, you're dumb. People starting to see the light, but it'll be a hard fight. Okay, so no, Kumo's uploaded our call uncut. Somehow he got his hands on it. I only sent it to you. Wait, what, where, what are you talking about? I heard Kumo uploaded our call unedited to his channel. Mind checking on that. Maybe I was lied to you, maybe I was wrong. Sorry about that. Two people told me I uploaded something uncut and I think they were mistaken. Sorry for scaring you, that I should have checked. 80% likes, 20% dislikes. So you know the Kumo didn't make our call. Talking about Kumo calling. I'm home. Bro, this really got a lot more dislikes because I was sleeping. It's now 72%. Still more likes, but that won't last long. Try to now go over my video. This was like okay. Whoa, I mean, whoa. End the vlog. Oof.
That's actually it cuts off randomly. Okay. So let's go mentally back through that. JustARobot gets an itch in his balls. I want to goon in a place where no one's ever gooned before. I have a girlfriend though. But it's fine. I'm going to get this embarrassed gooner. I'm going to save them from pedophile allegations. And then they're going to be so happy, they're going to give me the tatas for free. And who knows? Then I'll be able to meet up with them and do RP. And then I can do a moon. Yeah. I'm going to have my first girl and I'm going to have a goon on the side. Friends with benefits. Wacky slash. I can't, man. For free? For free. For free! He thought he was gonna get all that away for free. Hello, Astra. He thought he was gonna get this shit away for free! For free, chat! For free! JustARobot YouTuber. Exposed. Or trying to, inside of a relationship, become involved with a person who was the subject matter of his content with the explicit purpose of getting content creator on the screen to try and cover his content about him, hoping that he had worked it all out to try and get said girl as a jump off, to befriend him, then bring him romantically involved with him while in a relationship with another woman. And it all came crumbling down live on air. Because multiple people then leaked and spoiled the information. The content creator on screen, being Chud Logic, smelt some shit that didn't seem right, and then leaked the DMs that confirm that JustARobot, the content creator in question, this individual on the left here, who was trying to goon for this woman on the right here, Cinnabare. He was trying to make a love connection with her, tried to trick him into going over the content to verify his opinion, and it blew up in his face. Sometimes in my line of work, these are the things that I'd rather have not known. But you know, heavy is the crown that must be the barker for the news. Ah! Alright, chat, let's get to our moment of zen. We have two choices first. Choice number 1, Kembalair exposed by SmashJT. Choice number 2, disability, difficulty in the discourse that's lost the plot, Jim Sterling. Vote 1 for first and 2 for second. Which one you want? We're doing both, but which one do you want first? That is 1 for Kembalair, that's 2 for Jim Sterling. Which is to say, 1 for SmashJT talking about Kembalair, 2 for Jim Sterling. Take your time, chat. I'm a patient man. Also, hello, Nix. How are you doing? Hopefully everything's going well in Once Human. I've decided it's because I just didn't have the passion for it, at least for this upcoming season, that I was going to take a knee on it, so I could rediscover what I'm going to try and take advantage of if we finish in a readable amount of time for what we're going to be doing for our community group gaming event this month, which is going to be Helldivers 2. And we took a look. I'm seeing twos. Okay. Now motherfuckers want to get Jim out the way.
Oh, hello everyone. It's me, Stephanie Sterling. I'm playing I Can Fell, a story-driven game driven by a story, with battle settings designed to enable you, optionally, to just enjoy the story. I love it when story-driven games driven by a story let you just enjoy the story. I can't imagine, in fact, anybody being upset about that. Because it makes sense and is very usual. Oh, for fuck's sake. The difficulty discourse is...
No, I think I have covered this. However, I don't think I responded to it properly, because there are opinions that I've come to afterwards that I would like to express here. Because I think I did cover this, but I don't think I made a video about this. If I did, people will correct me. Story-based games should be heralded for their stories and nothing else. If you're not focused about the things that matter the most when it comes to optimization, then anything that has a story will be enjoyed for the story. I like playing Path of Exile, not because I like seeing big damage number go up, but because I like to learn about how the interconnected lore of the newest area of the season connects to the rest of the world in the current timeline. You don't have to worry about being the best player in existence to be able to see it. You don't even have the best build in the world to be able to see it. You just need to have a build that's good enough so that you can then have fun playing that build that should be, quote, good enough. The only person who would care about that is the person in question who's playing the game, because you can't gatekeep people from games. And of course, I gotta update the thing. Boom. It didn't update inside the OBS, horror.
Is that it again? May our blindfolded gods have mercy on our souls. Following the news that Dragon Age Vendelgart was getting a no-death accessibility mode...
That is not an accessibility mode. That is a difficulty setting. That is a game journal difficulty setting. In fact, it's worse than that. It's a cheat. You cannot remove the mechanics of gameplay and call it an accessibility mode. Because in order to receive an accessibility mode like no death, you need to complete the game. Or at least beat the game. If you can remove the difficulty of the game and call it an accessibility mode, then it is a movie. Technically, in the viewpoint of itchy shoulder, in the context of the Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and Soul Reaver 2, and depending on the Raziel section's defiance, there is no true death state in the entirety of the game. All of the Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, can be completed without ever truly experiencing difficulty, because the true difficulty comes from figuring out the puzzle-based system of how the mechanics of the boss need to be defeated. There is technically no true form of death. There is a death state But that just returns you to the spiritual realm. And upon being returned to the spiritual realm, you then have to figure out how to get back to that place inside there. It's a different type of death. But compare this to a death state in The Last of Us. You walked into an area that requires you to interact with a mechanic, and by ignoring the mechanic, your character is given a death state that then bounces them back to before the puzzle was in its fail state. Removing difficulty from a game so that people can, quote, experience the story is a difficulty setting, not an accessibility setting, because it's not on the level of remapping button keys. Even still, accessibility features that allow you to take and remove all difficulty from the game, same shit. Why did you just tell that lie, Jim?
Gamers began angrily declaring that they wouldn't be buying and playing the game anymore. Okay. If the idea of boycotting a game because some people you don't know could play it without dying if they wanted to sounds, I don't know, completely fucking weird, don't worry. Your intrepid reporter finally decided to seek answers from the gamers TM themselves. Exactly why is the existence of a very basic accessibility option that's technically been around as long as cheat codes have been a thing so offensive?
Cheat codes are cheat codes. Accessibility features are accessibility features. If we confound cheat codes for accessibility features, then we are not sure what the hell we're talking about anymore. And we are lying to people. If I give you a bagel and I tell you it's a cream cheese donut and you can bite right into it, but aha, it's actually a rock, I deserve to go to jail for breaking your teeth. Because I willfully sold you something and lied about what it was. There's no world where that's okay. That is a bad thing to do. And yet, you want to be rewarded for lying to people. And you believe that, well, it's okay, we've done this before, is an acceptable answer to the lying. It's not. It's bad. You should be ashamed.
As to render the game unplayable. Well, when I asked why gamers couldn't just not use the no death setting, I received this answer. I think you'll find that at long last, this explains everything.
I know I don't need to explain this. I know you already know this, but here goes. Indicators are a thing. If a game is released that has, for example, some DLC that lets...
Yeah, I did do this before. But we'll go back through it again.
your medieval knight have, let's say, a pointed white hood, or a 20th century German mustache enthusiast emblem, or Confederate flag capes, etc., etc. You wouldn't buy that game. You wouldn't just not download that DLC. You wouldn't go near that game. Why? Indicators. That one design choice is an indicator for the design philosophy of the game, and you wouldn't risk spending your hard-earned cash on something whose design philosophy is something you don't want to see in gaming.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up.
What's that smell?
The difficulty discourse has officially turned everybody's brains into weird soup. The elitist sneering and gatekeeping has become altogether more vicious and less sensible as time has gone on, and...
Ascarl called you out on insisting that people wanting to play games that they are invested in and want to give their money to, and calling them elitist, is fucking insane. Current day Carl, which is to say future Carl, is going to call you extremely hypocritical, because the intentive point of all of this is why people cannot figure out what woke is. Or, when they do know what woke is, they can't be able to find a way to design it. That is just political pandering, what that post described. They described political pandering. If a game was made by the Newsies, you would not put your money and investment into it, because you wouldn't want to give your money to Nazis. Meanwhile, people do the exact same thing the other way around. You want to castigate them for the crime of not doing that. And you want to treat it as though it's the exact same thing. As though it's not delusional. That's crazy. That's crazy. Insipid levels of crazy. It's so insane that you think that. And you also thought that that was okay. That's wild, dude. That's so wild. That's so crazy. Not only is that a crazy statement to make, that's a crazy standard to hold other people to, but probably not hold consistently for yourself. Because you don't want them to basically have fun. More or less is the problem. Fuck people. They're not supposed to have fun things. Not allowed. Criminy shame. How dare they? Cringe. And other such bullshit. How is that fucking helpful? In any way, how is that helpful? I hate hypocrites.
Of course, it's now just another front in the twisted culture wars. Giving a shit about disabled people is seen as another example of wokeism gone mad, another zero-sum game in which they're losing something somehow. The idea that accessibility is something you need to take a principled stance on the same way you would about literal Nazi iconography really speaks volumes about what a cunt you are. And don't censor that one, Zilla. These people are having principled political stances about the mere existence of accessibility options. They need to hear how cunty they're being.
This is annoying to say. Mainly because what you just said was a lie. A person can't be considered cunty because they have a good head on their shoulders when it comes to the concept of the video games that they're playing. Because ultimately, if they're being cunty about a viewpoint that they should be more than capable of achieving and understanding, they shouldn't be castigated for that reality. Because the reality is, they're playing the games that they want to be involved playing. You're mad that people are playing the same game as you, and they are playing it in your viewpoint wrong. And they would be upset about the same shit too. But at the end of the day, the other person wants to know that when that person has an opinion about the video game, they actually played the video game versus not playing the video game. Which in and of itself is not the same thing. You are categorically not saying the same thing as those people. And because you're not saying the same thing as those people, you're insisting that they're crazy and you're not. And that's wild. That's wild. That's extremely wild. That's crazy insistence and a really big thing to assume. That's just wild. On all levels, it's just wild. You've told me about Throne and Liberty. It's on the docket. It's just for another month. Move forward.
Fuck is wrong with you? That you think disabled access is something to take a principled stance against?
People are not amused.
It would be damn and bizarre if this uproar was about one of the usual hardcore gamer games, but Dragon Age Ventrilo isn't even a Souls-like. Dragon Age isn't known or celebrated for being difficult. It isn't known for requiring its players to get good. It's a BioWare game, an RPG regarded almost entirely for its story rather than its gameplay. I don't know if I've ever seen people shit their diapers to this extreme degree over difficulty options in a BioWare RPG.
Well, past Carl called you out about the fact that it shouldn't be about the difficulty. It should be about, you know, the actual gameplay. Current Carl now has the ability to look at how they sold and packaged that game. They didn't show a single thing about gameplay. Most of what they wanted to show was... Excuse me, burpee. Most of what they wanted to show had to do with how they wanted people to look at the character's design philosophy. That and that alone. Nothing else was of concern for them. Not even close. Me personally, I'm not shocked by that, but I'm actually surprised that they chose to go that route. By that I mean, I could probably find them if I look for the IGN ones. IGN. Veilguard. Fucking Christ. It's so ugly every time I look at it. Here we go. Shield your eyes, chat. So, besides the obvious, namely that IGN was basically doing a illegal form of advertisement, because IGN was basically doing something that comes with not their job. This is an illegal form of advertisement, but past that, people looking for gameplay about the game you say shouldn't even be about difficulty, because it should be about the story and the events and the timelines and the breakdown and the endings and the character development and the growth and the voice acting of the characters, thus defining them as people rather than just applicable tropes to be written about in the future and used again in another timeline or product or processes or for comparison to other characters to who these tropes apply to. You have people looking at this as the immaculate, perfectly well-designed, graphical fidelity game maker with limited choices to design like this and the proportionality of sliders. This is supposed to be the cutting edge, Sterling. This is what you consider cutting edge. This right here. That is not worth anyone's money. This right here, not worth your money. This right here, also not worth your money. Fuck the difficulty at this point. Why the fuck would I ever tell somebody to buy that? Even off of appearance alone, it does not look good. Now, of course, I'm not a graphical fidelity guy. I play shitty games all the time. Why would I ever suggest somebody play the game just based on looks alone? It's horrible. It's impossible. It's embarrassing. Patui, patui.
Before, but if I have, it certainly hasn't been like this.
You stink like a dead dog. We can't stand it. I can't put my honey poo through this.
As I say, though, the difficulty discourse has finally turned people's brains into strange cheese, and the outrage is pure knee-jerk nonsense at this point. Very much like we discussed last week with the gamers TM whining whenever a female character gets a redesign, the backlash isn't about...
Well, past Carl calls you out about the fact that you're being hypocritical on Tomb Raider. However, current Carl knows that Haley Atwell is currently voicing the current iteration that they've decided to create for Lara Croft, and effectively they wanted to make her into a lesbian with daddy issues who uses daddy's money to try and return artifacts to the British Museum where they quote belong. Which basically means this Lara Croft is basically a human Wonder Woman. And in their desire to make human Wonder Woman, they made her gay. She was already a chick, so they made Lara Croft gay. I would not know what to say to you. I honestly would not. I honestly would not know what to say to Samantha Sterling. Because Gaslight doesn't even get across how bad that is. That's the worst part. Gaslighting doesn't even get across how insidious what they just said is.
about specific scenarios anymore, and it triggers a nasty little tantrum. Pure, unabashed reactionism. To cry foul over a story-driven game having a story-driven difficulty mode, to spunk blood in rage over those less able than you getting to enjoy the same toys you do, is to basically admit you just want players excluded for the sake of it. It is to admit that you are a cunt. You can say.
Here's the problem, though. you can't exclude somebody. As long as they are not being prevented from owning a copy of the game, and they are given true accessibility features, you cannot gatekeep the willing. You cannot gatekeep the willing without policing the door and bouncing them off the door. So that's not even a necessary concern. Really, the problem stems from, which is the truth and lack of desire an issue that most usually come across, which is you want what you want, but you don't want other people to have what you want. You want to have accessibility features and accessibility modes, but you don't want what comes with them, which is honestly the bragging rights. Just say, I did this before this. I did that before that. I did pre-patch for Dawn. I did Urizen no upgrades. I just started playing DMC5 last night. I'm not being gatekept by anything other than my lack of skill and my difficulty to learn how to do that with the amount of upgrades that I have purchased already. And more than likely, once I get it on camera and I can be able to upload it to my other channel, I'm not doing it again. Because that's really what it comes down to. The bragging rights. Is it possible to gatekeep somebody from bragging rights? Absolutely. Is it possible to gatekeep somebody from a game that they purchased? No. The only true way to gatekeep somebody is to make the peripheral interaction something that a person absolutely could not do if they are disabled. For example, Dance Dance Revolution. Some of the games have handheld PS2 hand tags, so you can do the key inputs on the dance pad controller. Imagine going to a casino with a arcade with a shuffleboard machine. That means an actual shuffling machine. It's like a dance machine. It's like DDR, but not. Instead of it being based on this, it has a little touch sensor pad mat, and the move keys are all about you actually hitting real dance moves, using the shuffle pad positioning of your feet in a horizontal line on the floor. Makes a lot more sense if you see the example I'm talking about than me describing it. But I can gatekeep somebody who cannot physically use their legs from a Korean shuffle machine. I cannot gatekeep somebody from Super Mario. I can use industry connections to block somebody from being able to become a content creator by blackballing them. I cannot stop somebody from signing up to any open all free open tournament. You're just talking shit.
Can, but won't.
Recently, online personality Alana Pierce found herself the focus of a witch hunt after Git Gooders decided to be pathetic little anuses about a comment she made that had been deliberately taken out of context.
The context of the helpless disability of being a parent, past Carl and future Carl are both going to tell you you're being a little pissant. Because everyone has now reacted to this comment. And the truth of the matter is that coming up with, I have a learned disability that is the child that I spawned, it's just so hard playing video games. I have to stop what I'm doing and actually police my child. You don't have to get the fuck out of here with that one. You gonna have to get the fuck out of here with that one. Absolutely. You have to. Because that's cringe. Cringe.
And more or less lied about on social media, making the case for a pause button in games like Elden Ring. Alana used the concept of parenthood to help non-disabled people relate to disability and understand how prohibitive it can be to play an unpauseable game. If you believe the Git Gooders, however, what Alana did was demand Elden Ring be made easier because having kids is a disability. I don't know, maybe the gamers TM are right and my reading of her words is wrong. Let's look at what she actually said, while also understanding and acknowledging that it's part of an entire half-hour video, and see what the most reasonable interpretation of her words is. It's mine.
A half-hour video is not very long. And saying it in the context of, oh, the argument itself was fine, it was in the context of a half-hour video. Okay. If I take 24 hours to make a point, but my point is 100% true, positive, right, and you can never talk back against it, are you willing to wait the whole 24 hours for it? No. You are not. Let's be that ass.
Most reasonable interpretation is mine, not theirs. Mine.
There are long-term disabilities, there are situational disabilities, there are temporary disabilities. It counts as a disability where a video game like Elden Ring is concerned if you have a kid. If you have a 2-year-old, you're trying to play Elden Ring, you can't pause. That is a situational disability that you have, where the game not having the option for you to be able to pause, for example, is a hindrance to your particular disability.
Alana has been dogpiled and attacked for making what is actually a very reasonable statement if you are capable of reason. Now, Alana and I are not super close, but in the interest of disclosure, I do consider her a friend. I've known her for a long time, and I've seen a lot of women-hating chuds disproportionately dogpile on her for having relatively uncontroversial opinions, like the fucking fiend she is. And my god, people really threw their dignity out the fucking window to be upset about this one. One of the most popular performatively outraged responses said it was the worst Elden Ring take they've ever seen. A response that was itself a far worse Elden Ring take. If thinking it'd be nice to be able to pause Elden Ring is one of the worst opinions about Elden Ring you've ever heard, I might be able to interest you in this fabulous new thing called the internet. Because clearly you've never fucking been on it before. I kinda don't want to debate the actual core of the argument here because it, I don't know, feels pointless almost. The difficulty discourse is so poisoned by bad faith arguments and now bizarre political conflations that honestly most of it's beneath me. Bear in mind, I'm one of the original veterans of the difficulty discourse wars. You know, because of that time I said I wouldn't mind if Dark Souls had an easy mode, and then for 10 fucking years Git Gooders screamed at me claiming that I was demanding From Software go casual. I learned a long time ago that trying to be reasonable with these people is a waste of time. It doesn't matter what words you use, because they've already decided which ones they're going to stuff in your mouth for you. That said, when it comes to a pause button, I actually am going to get pushy, because the inability to pause an offline game is stupid. And to clarify, I meant when playing a game like Elden Ring offline. I know you can have it online. Taking one of the most fundamentally basic, foundational functions out of a game for no other sake than to do it is honestly bloody clown shoes. I love Elden Ring. It's truly one of the greatest games ever made, an achievement of open world design and a landmark triumph of games that let you shoot lasers from your eyes. But the lack of a pause button when playing solo is not just exclusionary, it's archaic, outmoded, and an inelegant holdover from its online features. The fact so many Souls-likes have normalized unpausable gameplay as an integral part of the genre is honestly disappointing, because to me it displays a lack of good ideas. It certainly says you're just following a blueprint without fucking thinking for yourself. Any developer who would disable such basic functionality as pausing because they think it increases the difficulty somehow is being, well, fucking bad at game design, because
again, the example I used in the past for this was the gameplay concept of the final boss of Hades 2. Kronos unpauses your game. Let me give you an example.
No. You do not control the flow of time. Not here. Are you enjoying this? Cease this and fight. No.
In order
No.
to be able to pause the game, you need to have an incantation inside of Hades 2 that prevents Kronos from suppressing the ability for you to pause.
Headmistress, if I may, hear me, O Shades, on my authority. Give my demand all due priority.
Your intent was true.
So mote it be.
Again with this foolishness? Wait, what? Stuck? How? Impossible. How? Such power. If it must be. Oh, very well. I shall abide what doubtless is a necessary bathroom break. Oh, fine. I shall allow it, I suppose. Fine. You know what? Have it your way. Fine. Then let us wait. Again.
The argument that pausing is an integral feature that belongs in every single context of every single game, of every single thing, ever. I don't know if I'd say that's inflexive or imposing. I'd like to think that it's not delusional, but I don't know if that's valid. I wouldn't want to give a person like that the ability to claim that it's valid, because it certainly doesn't feel like it's valid. What do I know? Regardless, moving forward.
That's such a crude, unimaginative, cheaply contrived way of doing it. I mean, as a dev, you could spend time crafting enemies with strategic AI and challenging attack patterns. You could design an intricate map with well-hidden traps. You could come up with thoughtful puzzles. Or you could disable basic functionality and hope that your players get killed because they had to answer their front door in the middle of a fight. That's not a balanced challenge. That's a game's balance trying to steal your front door's valor. A game's difficulty shouldn't be decided by when the FedEx guy turns up. Oh, I've almost beaten the Orphan of Cos. I hope my phone rings right now to make the game more fun, said literally fucking nobody. It doesn't add to it. Being unable to pause a game literally adds nothing. It's taking away one of the most rudimentary functions a game can have. People really need to learn the difference between challenge and inconvenience. Even at its least shitty, robbing a player of the ability to pause is a gross inconvenience. I've never played a game and thought I'd be having more fun if I couldn't press pause. But then...
Well, in my context, I'd have to ask, have you ever had a child? I have a child. Or I have a child. I don't give a fuck about what the fuck's gonna happen in that game, because it's just a fucking game. That game is not more important than my child. You guys have bad perspectives. If you're all so worried about shit that you certainly should not be so happy to be popping off at the gums about. But you guys are, and that's weird. 100% weird.
And again, I respect my own time. I reject the idea that the pause button even belongs in a discussion about difficulty in the first place. Being unable to pause to deal with real life is not a puzzle, it is not combat, it is not anything approaching an in-game challenge for a player to overcome. It's a game taking advantage of your real-life circumstances. Like a little bitch. You can't get good at having no responsibilities, at not having your door knocked on, at not needing to take a fucking piss. Sorry gamers, but having no life is not a skill. Even leaving aside disability for a moment, just having a number of reasonable adult responsibilities, children included, makes an unpausable game not difficult, but patently fucking unfair. It's downright cheap. Fake difficulty. You can't pause real life. The least you should be able to do is pause your fucking games. And circling back around, being unable to pause a game can indeed be horribly prohibitive to people with disabilities. Whether it's a chronic pain sufferer who can't tell when they're about to have a literally disabling flare-up, or someone with challenges using the bathroom, or any other number of concerns, being able to just hold on 10 minutes until a fight is done, or you can find a safe place to hide, is a privilege that many people just do not have. This is one of those situations where the people loudly protesting against something are people who aren't affected by the situation one way or another. A lot of folks acting like they have a dog in this race seem to be able-bodied nerds who clearly don't have a lot of real-life responsibilities and concerns because they're spending all their time getting upset at someone wanting to pause a computer game. Basically, the only people who want this kind of quote-unquote difficulty are those who literally aren't affected by it. What they really want isn't the difficulty, they just want to exclude people for the sake of excluding them. It's mean-spirited, it's gatekeeping of the most petty and pathetic kind, it's privilege distilled. And another thing, I am disabled. I have several disabilities, my most publicised one being the herniated disc in my spine, which I've had to live with since 2016.
Me personally, I think that the most public of your disabilities is the way that you think about things. But you know, what do I know? I'm just some black man.
I have also helped to raise children ever since I was a child myself. At the time of writing this exact line in the script, an 8-year-old just tripped over a dog next to me and is now yelling over my head to his granddad about wanting some new cuddly toy or other. That is to say, I have extensive experience with disability and extensive experience of caregiving. So I do consider myself reasonably qualified to say the following. If you're mocking the rhetorical relation between childcare and disability, shut the fuck up, fuck the fuck off, and sit the fuck down when you get there. Remember again, because this lead has been consistently buried, nobody is saying that having children is the exact same thing as a physical or mental disability.
Well, you see, you're equating them as the same, so just like Past Carl said, yeah, you did. Fuck off. You tried it. We ain't letting it happen. Stop it. Get some help. Get some perspective. Etc. Etc.
In fact, Alana was using Microsoft's own designation when calling it a situational disability, as in, your ability to do something is reduced by the situation around you. And
one of the things that should be important that I don't think a single person asked is, why does Microsoft have this list? Who invented the list? Because I'm certain the list exists for extensive reasons, but why did this writer use this list to try and justify probably some of the dumbest takes in difficulty ever? Because the difficulty of Dark Souls isn't not pausing. The difficulty of Dark Souls is the attack patterns. The preparation. Because you don't play video games unless you have the time to play video games. Which is another thing. I have the time to play video games because it's part of my job. And the other part of my job is editing videos. Making appearances, doing live streams. If I didn't have the time to do it, I would not worry about it. But, okay. You know best, Jamantha.
And in this case, bringing up children as a situational disability helps to give an approximate idea of what living with other forms of disability is like. To live with challenges you just can't choose to not have, that impact everything.
If we're being dead ass, you can choose to live without children. It's called being a dink. Double income, no kids. Or even one income, no kids. You can choose to live without kids in your life. Yes, you can. Will your life be more fulfilling if you don't spawn? And or take on the responsibility of adulthood? Or parenthood? I can't give you that answer. But what I can say is, yes, you can. You do not hit the age of 16 in America. And while men go off to the draft, you have to sign up for the biological lottery, where every woman within a 200-mile radius has a 20% chance of being forcibly impregnated to keep the birth rates of their city high. That doesn't happen. That's not a real thing. It's just not a real thing. You should be embarrassed for insisting that it is. Anywho.
Thing you do in your day-to-day life. And honestly, good analogy. As good a one as you can get. There is nothing I could say that would get a non-chronic pain sufferer to understand what it's like to suffer with chronic pain. Trust me, if you haven't lived with physical pain, intense amounts of physical pain, every waking moment for years, you do not understand. You simply do not understand. And no, having kids is absolutely not the same thing. But honey, I will take whatever rhetorical device I can get to at least help get someone in the mental ballpark. Children have many needs that end up taking precedence over and often can eat into your leisure time. They are an external force that you can at best manage but can't ever fully control. They stop you being able to do many things that those without them can. They get in the way, a lot. They are a constant factor in your life that impacts everything you choose to do and often take away the choices you do try and make. Speaking as someone who...
That's called adulthood and parenthood. The way that you're talking about what people should be allowed to do, I should be allowed personal time with kids. Yeah, you can actually have personal time. But you probably want to do it in a way that doesn't incorporate Kokomo into your life. Or Doggyland. But you know, you just made an argument that makes it sound like you just said that children are a burden. And it should not be forced to get in the way of your Bing Bing Wahoo Man time? That's a really bad argument.
As to weigh going out to see my friends against the agonizing physical pain I'll be putting my body through to do it, I can say with 100% confidence that the analogy works. The choice between doing what you like and the cost of doing so, the disruption to your best laid plans, the unpredictable and tenuous nature of your free time, the knowledge that such time is borrowed. Disability and parenthood are different games, ain't nobody saying otherwise, but the mechanics act in very much the same way. A lot of the restrictions are exactly the same. Not that many of the people acting outraged over this discussion seem to be disabled or have kids. It seems instead like what the difficulty discourse often seems like. like. A bunch of people without the lived experiences they're confidently opining on, screaming over the voices of those who actually know what they're talking about. Not all games are made for everyone, and that's okay. Words to this effect have become something of a catchphrase among the Get Good crowd. It's a nice little catch-all justification for excluding people, but I find it's rarely an attitude they consistently apply. I mean, the rage over Dragon Age Viddle Griddle having an optional option for people who aren't them demonstrates exactly how not okay they think it is when something's not been made for them. And that's really...
Well, past Carl probably didn't call you out about it, so current Carl will. The implication that you just made is that you're not doing the same thing, and you are.
What it's all about, because these regressive, exclusionary fuckers just want to be exclusively pandered to, and they want that pandering to come at the specific expense of anyone who isn't exactly like them. When you're so fucking selfish that you're complaining about optional disabled access, you have lost any right to pretend that you don't just hate people who are different and actively want them to be excluded for those differences. Just admit it, you intellectual cowards. Admit your ableist little shits. I still remember the angry reactions gamers had when sign language was introduced to Forza. Yes, anger. Over the inclusion of sign language. How selfish, how petty, how malicious, how fucking tiny do you have to be to get angry that deaf people can enjoy a video game a little bit better? You're like those old boomer fuckers who sneer at disabled parking spaces. No, wait, you're somehow even smaller than that. At least a good parking space is something you could envy in a myopic, thoughtless, self-centered sense. What's there to be jealous of when a disabled person simply gets to play the exact same game as you? It's not just a low-stakes problem. You're having a very genuine zero-stakes one. This ain't even your circus. Stop shooting other people's monkeys. Growing up in England, I got to see the disgusting way disabled people are regarded here. This is a horribly ableist country where a right-wing press constantly whips up mistrust of us, and a welfare system is designed more to catch us out as freeloaders than actually provide the assistance we need. We're treated automatically like inconveniences at best and malingerers at worst, and I'm honestly so fucking tired of it. I'm sure as shit not even gonna pretend to take seriously a bunch of gatekeeping nerds tugging on their little blonkers and crying because we're allowed to play some computer games. I'm so fucking tired of you spoiled little brats. I hope you all run out of games to play because each one got too woke for you, and you feel universally excluded for no other reason than the mere concept of inclusion offended you. You're the only ones who deserve to feel excluded at this point, not least for the fact that you're literally doing it to yourselves.
And you say that they're hateful. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. I heard information from Nick Monrealty, who just asked me a very weird question. Anywho, Jamantha. And this one is 1735. Yeah, we got time. Alright. Final video, moment of Zen.
I don't even know how I'm going to talk about today's video because honestly I've put the information together, the facts on the table, and created what we used to call in this world an opinion based off the surrounding evidence and the circumstance that we're talking about against somebody who is not necessarily the most well-liked figure in the game industry today, and that is Kim Belair, and how I feel like she's not really a good person. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Kim Belair was in the news recently for giving a presentation at the XOXO Festival, and I've covered that in detail. Many people on YouTube have, and we found it very interesting how she was off-putting everything on everyone else, not taking any accountability, not taking any of the ownership of it, and saying it's all everyone else's fault. We're getting this harassment campaign, and we're not going to acknowledge any wrongdoing from Sweet Baby Inc., just like they always do. Nothing really special or surprising from that. But there was one little thing that she said at the very beginning of it that kind of caught my ear. And I was like, that's interesting. That doesn't sound right.
I'm Kim Belair. In my circles, I'm largely considered, I think, a relatively nice person. These are my dogs, Sage and Flaky. These are my cats, Tag and the Gray Boy.
In the Gray Boy. In the Gray Boy.
Wait a second. It almost sounds like this person is extremely racist, which I know, again, not a huge shocker for people that have been following the story and following her specifically. But once I started diving down this rabbit hole, I saw just how interconnected and behind the scenes the webs were, that I'm like, oh my god, I had an epiphany. It's all coming together.
We are creative, we are passionate, we are funny, and we are doing this because we love it. We love it so much, in fact, that we'll do it even through the worst months of our lives.
This isn't about games anymore. In fact, with Sweet Baby Inc., it never was. It's always been about the agenda. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the extremely exhaustive and thorough article diving through facts to form my opinion about why I feel like Kim Belair might not necessarily be the greatest person in the world. Kim Belair, the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., a widely criticized consultancy firm known for injecting diverse narratives in the gaming industry, recently gave an extremely insincere presentation at the XOXO Festival. In typical fashion, she took center stage with her usual victimhood narrative, but this time she had a new target, Elon Musk. And this is very important to take away from this because it's going to expose exactly what her thinking is when it comes to white people.
As ridiculous and stupid as it all was, I actually was not prepared for the escalation of it when noted buffoon and Twitter CEO Elon Musk decided that he would chime in with his very cool thoughts. Yeah, some very cool, very good thoughts in there. Lots to think about.
As you just saw there, Kim Belair decided to call Elon Musk a buffoon, which is fascinating. You're welcome to say whatever you want and call people whatever you want if it's your opinion, that's great. But it's interesting, seeing as Elon Musk is from African descent, he's an African, he's a white African, but I'd be interested to see if Kim Belair would call Elon Musk a noted buffoon if he happened to be a black African. I'm just wondering if she has the same rules for it, because as we dive deeper here, we're going to see, no, it's a double standard that she has that we all know about, but this video is going to actually expose the facts.
When Elon chimed in, it really made me realize the scale of it, because the richest man in the world was suddenly turning like the Eye of Sauron onto 16 people trying to make a pretty modest living in the industry that they love, and he was—
The Eye of Sauron. A autistic man who's probably got more kids than Sodom and Gomorrah. Terrifies you. Damn, girl, that's crazy. That's wild. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Ain't that crazy? That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Something wrong with her.
Was arguing for our collapse.
She goes on to crap on Elon more and expressed her decision to leave Twitter long ago, claiming that it's no longer a safe space for her or anyone who shares her views. And while that might resonate with some people, it's her continuous slandering of Musk that makes you wonder why the need to focus on someone she supposedly doesn't care about at all. And it goes back to, she's not a big fan of a white, straight male having a lot of money and control in this world.
And it's hard, let alone when like Elon Musk is like a crawling
with the penis. I feel like Boss is the first one to get it. Congratulations, Boss. You're the first one to get one of the newer voice alerts. It's crazy. Hello, struggler. Welcome back from work.
Teary-eyed out of his money pit to tell us that we deserve to go broke. It's a disaster.
And while on the surface you can say, well, that doesn't lead one to the other, you can't really say that as a fact. Okay, fair enough. It's my opinion based off of circumstantial evidence that she continues to perpetuate. But here's where it really gets wild. So I watched that presentation again because it was just so interesting to me. I feel like there's a lot of information that she let out there accidentally that exposes her for who she truly is. Right at the beginning of the video, she introduces her dog and her cat and tells everyone, hey, I'm just a normal person just like you guys. I'm just a regular old woman that just works in the game industry, just trying to make it through, you know. The patriarchy's holding us down, but I'm trying, you know. But then she ends up talking about her cat's name and says her cat is called Gray Boy. And that kind of made me perk my ears up. I'm like, where have I heard that term before? I feel like there's something behind that. And sure enough, I head over to Google and search it up, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I saw that.
Thank you, Blood Wolf. Thank you, Struggle.
You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to ask. It comes with the penis.
That's on a random setting, and it's still going through the same one.
You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to
Oh, let me check that out a second. It should be cycling. 1 second. I swear to God, it's supposed to be cycling.
You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to ask. It comes with the penis.
Alright, alert box. Subscribers.
You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to ask. It comes with the penis.
Members. Yeah, it's supposed to be randomly replacing it between Will and a Whopping Away and this one, but it's just not apparently, which is interesting. Close your mouth, fictional woman, and open your legs to possibilities. So that is Super Chat one. And where there's a will, there's a Whoppers away is one from members.
You don't have to say thank you. You don't have to ask. It comes with the penis.
Because the normal one here is where there's a will, there's a Whoppers, there's a way. So I guess this is just overwriting it completely. Apparently. You don't have to ask. Edit. Frequency. Let's go rarely. Save. I'm going to set it to a different condition. I'm going to set it to where the months as a member is at least 4 months. Yeah. Where the membership status is at least 4 months. There you go. Now it should play based on how many people have resubscribed for a certain amount. Anywho. Anyways. New alerts. Spectacular. Back to this.
And I'm like, I gotta post a video on Twitter. I was walking my dog when it all came together and I was listening to it. I'm like, I'm just gonna post this video out there and just put 2 and 2 together, let people make their own decision based off of the information and evidence we have. And I posted it on Twitter.
Hello. I'm Kim Blair. In my circles, I'm largely considered, I think, a relatively nice person. These are my dogs, Sage and Flaky. These are my cats, Tag and the Gray Boy.
I bet you didn't know that the term Gray Boy is actually, in certain circles, a derogatory term against white people. I find it fascinating that the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., a DEI firm that injects cultural sensitivity into games, aka anything but white people, would name their cat an anti-white name. I find it fascinating, almost to the point of making you wonder, is she extremely racist?
Jonas Campbell said, you'd think a sensitivity reader would be aware of something like that, which is, again, true. This is one of those, if people are trying to say, oh no, it's just an incidental accident, it's just a coincidence. You know, she didn't actually mean it to be a derogatory term against white people just because she named her cat that. Totally 2 different worlds. But this is someone that is supposedly a sensitivity reader. If that's the case, then she's not a professional. She's not doing her job because she doesn't even know the thing that I knew. And when you know it, someone's like, hey, she's protected mode. She's not going to see this. And I'm like, yeah, I know, whatever though. And I clicked on the name of her that they tagged, and sure enough, I was blocked. This video that I posted is what got me blocked by her. And I thought that was very interesting. Why would she block me when she's already in protected mode? It's not like I can see what she's saying anyways. That's interesting. And then I paired that with what she said in the presentation about how she left Twitter. And she doesn't use Twitter because she feels like it's such a horrible place.
As silly as it is, and as little as I miss the current Twitter, as little as I regret leaving it, the loss of like frivolity and, you know, frankly, like dumb bullshit is actually a little soupçon of dehumanization. Because I would love to post a picture of my latte or my dogs without people going like, oh, I guess coffee is woke now, and hey, that dog is pretty gay.
But then she does use Twitter because she just blocked me on it. So if she uses Twitter, she's lurking and she's watching everything that transpires. She is there. This is proof positive of that. But with Kim, it's not about the games. It's not about the narrative design. It's all about the message. And even more importantly, it's all about control. It's clear my video hit a nerve with her. Blocking me wasn't about limiting my access. No, not at all. She knows that it's futile and doesn't do a dang thing about how she's already in protected mode. No one can see what she's saying anyways. This was about trying to desperately control the situation in any way possible, attempting to silence any further exposure of her behavior, to feel like she has some or any semblance of power in this battle. And spoiler alert, she doesn't, and she's finding that out real quick. And it got me diving even deeper into this. After I saw that she blocked me, I was like, that's interesting because this person has a history of being very, well, say, anti-white straight male. I think it's fair to say that based off of all her presentations and everything she's been saying about how she always tries to inject a narrative and culture and black voices and marginalized voices and all the buzzwords she always throws out there. She never cares about the straight white male. And I feel like that kind of permeates everything in her life. Ironically, Alyssa Mercante, good friend of the channel, senior editor at Kotaku, was one of the loudest voices pushing the agenda of you can't be racist against white people. And she posted this tweet on March 6th, 2024. And why is that date significant? Because, as I found out doing some research here, many of us are already familiar with the article that she wrote that Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you think they do. Guess what day that she posted that article? Yep, you guessed it, the same day she posted on March 6th, 2024. And why does that matter? Why am I even correlating these two things? Well, she interviews Kim Belair and leaves out vital important parts about how Chris Kindred tried to get Kabuto's canceled and how Sweet Baby Inc. actually does exactly what we think they do. But they didn't want to get that message out there. So she interviewed Kim, gave the most glowing review of the company possible, and then goes on the offense to wear a t-shirt about how you can't be racist against white people, post it on Twitter, put it in her headline, say everything about it, while also propagating the lie that Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you think they do. And it's just interesting when you pair the two things together, that this is, by all accounts, a coordinated attack against gamers. By putting these things together, putting it out there, pushing the message of, hey, what we're saying here, you cannot attack us. You can't say anything about us, because otherwise we're going to label you as a bigot and a racist, and we're going to completely devalue your argument and say you need a tinfoil hat on because of your conspiracy theories, because that's what all you chuds always are. When in reality, this is exposing Alyssa Mercante for exactly the fraud she is, by trying to proactively push a message out there, while at the same time propping up Sweet Baby Inc. Makes you think, wait a second, what kind of backroom deals were going on here? Why would she be perpetuating this lie? And pair that with Dread Roberts posting some banger info on why Sweet Baby Inc. was founded in the first place. Once again, pushing the racism against white people angle from Kim herself. And
That's really not that surprising, especially since the original page was, "Hi, I'm Kim Belair. I'm a black woman working in games and the co-founder and CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., which is a black and queer-owned narrative development company working in indie and AAA spaces around the world." That shouldn't be that surprising. Everybody knew that. That was something that you knew without even having to look into it. And it's obvious based on how they do everything. Anywho.
he posted this on Twitter. It's a very long message, but it's very important we go through it. So I'm going to go through it fast, but I'll cover the parts that I feel like really stand out here. Hi, I'm Kim Belair, and I'm a black woman working in games. Which is interesting, by the way. God, I know I said I'd go through this fast, but that right there. Why do you need to call out your color? Don't look for color. Just do the games. Play the games. Make it natural. If, as Alyssa says, diversity is natural, you shouldn't have to proactively tell people what your skin color is in literally the first line of what you're saying. I'm also the co-founder and CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., a black and queer-owned narrative development company working in the indie and AAA spaces around the world. Right now, things feel scary, uncertain, infuriating, and heartbreaking. All of this, by the way, is the same parroted talk that she just gave to the XOXO Fest. In these people's mind, it never changes. The whole world's always out to get them, and they're the most awful people in the world because they just can't get through. It's always hate campaigns. It's always people attacking them, even though all it is just calling a spade, and in this case saying, here are the facts of what you're doing and why you're wrong. In light of the government-sanctioned violence being perpetuated against black communities, it is important that we not only say something, but do something. Which I would say, wait, what? Like, what are you even talking about that's being perpetuated? Like, maybe this is back during the George Floyd stuff, and they're like, oh, let's jump into BLM, all this stuff. Let's jump into the cash cow that is race baiting people and try to throw all these buzzwords out to maybe get some investor money, maybe get some money donated from BLM, maybe get some money donated from really rich people that are trying to pay back their sins for daring to be born white. It is challenging enough to navigate this world as a black person and to find solace, solidarity, and support. This is equally true for black people working in and adjacent to the games industry, where opportunities are rarely afforded, help is rarely given, and black and other marginalized voices are ignored, silenced, or actively threatened. We want to help in what ways we can. I look at this as someone, again, coming from Kim Belair, as she does not like white people. In fact, she feels like white people hold black people down, and that white people, by extension, are the problem. Ergo, I think that watching all this go down and seeing all the information and the facts on the table and naming her cat what she did, in addition to the reason Sweet Baby Inc. was founded, in addition to going in backroom deals with Alyssa Mercante to do a coordinated attack against gamers, just feels like she's extremely racist against white straight men. Just gonna be honest. Kim can dish out insults about Elon Musk.
I mean, what was your first fucking tip? That should have been obvious from the fucking first 2019 speech.
And complain about the unsafe spaces she supposedly no longer cares about, but when the tables are turned and the spotlight's on her, she scrambles to regain any control she can. And in doing so, she's exposing far more than anyone could have ever imagined. Madam Savvy on Twitter said, people who actually love the gaming industry wouldn't try to change it, they'd try to expand it. They wouldn't call successful female leads problematic, they'd teach people how to write new characters through online workshops. They wouldn't try to change an existing studio or use fear tactics, they'd teach people how to set up new studios. They'd run programs in Chicago, Detroit, or other cities to start growing studios. They wouldn't use outlets like GDC to call gamers racist. They'd use outlets like GDC to talk about the cool things small dev teams are making and how storytelling is for everyone, and that there is no wrong way to tell a story. Kim is a shit stain on all the pantaloons of the gaming industry. You can wash the fabric endlessly, but sometimes it's best to just throw them away and buy new ones. And at this point, I understand Chris Kindred has not just been fired from Sweet Baby Inc., but it's recently come out that he was actually fired, ironically, around the same time that Alyssa Mercante was running that whole campaign that you can't be racist against white people and promoting the article that she wrote with Sweet Baby Inc. It's just curious how all this stuff seemed to happen at the same time. Kim, I know you're watching this, so let me just talk to you real quick. quick here. Like, off the record. Everyone else can turn off the video. This is just for me and Kim. Kim, get the hell out of the game industry. We don't want you. The stories that you're telling are ruining the games that could have potential to be good. The people you're bringing into the game industry are not qualified to be doing the storytelling that you think that any marginalized voice can just pick up a pencil and start writing. You are not qualified. This is not the industry for you. You are ruining it by running an agenda, pushing a narrative, propaganda, and ideologies on the masses. And none of us want it. Leave the game industry and go back to collecting skulls or whatever the hell you do in your spare time, because that's a totally normal thing that a person would do. Collecting skulls and...
Taxidermy is a normal hobby that anybody can have. Trying to attack her and make fun of her for that is a pretty weird thing to fucking do, because there's plenty of things that many of us have as hobbies that we should definitely get mocked for. And the only reason why we don't is because most of us are able to keep that shit under wrap and key. Anywho.
Taxidermy. Anyways, I'm gonna leave there. If you guys want more information, again, a very exhaustive article, check out smashjt.com. I'll link it in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
We work very hard to get marginalized talent into the industry, to protect them the way that we would want to have been protected, to lift them up, and to get them into an industry where they're too often shut out. And basically, I think to take over in the hopes that some really dope people will be...
And that is the interview from the Inclusion Effects channel. It's the one with her taxidermy behind her in her office. The one where she basically admits what all of us should have already known and could have been able to guess. But saying it with all the gusto.
Be able to lead into kind of a new era for an industry that's been kind of, you know, the same way too long.
And that is the stream, guys. It's 4:26. We're gonna see what happens between me and my wife. Hopefully, we get to do the Helldivers 2 stuff today. Namely, that being Escalation of Freedom has dropped. All of the patches are done. And it's time to get our hands on it. There's an alert inside of the server that should update every day. I don't know if it will or not, but it's supposed to. No, it is what it is, Bolster. Because today is actually Wednesday, which is not normally one of the days that CGG would be scheduled for. Should I be able to, that is something we will get to do. Otherwise, I simply want to be able to experience that with whoever has the ability to. So, that's for the rest of the month, throughout October, after every single news stream, and on days that would usually be for versus chats, if there is no versus chat suggested or requested. This is what we will be doing. You have the most experience out of all of us right now, so I would love to be able to have you there. Regardless, look forward to that between the time of 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. normal people in the chat room. Otherwise, on regular days, it would be probably throughout the entire day. So like on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and maybe even Sundays. It could be throughout the entire day. But, that. Anyways, that is the stream. And as the content ends, so must the Carl. I turn back into a pumpkin. A drunken, slutty pumpkin. You'll watch replays. It is what it is. What it is. Anyways, time to turn back into a slutty pumpkin. Goodbye, stream. I will leave you. Bon way.